Okay, no one's here yet, but my goal is to recruit people. So we'll see how that goes. Someone's watching. How's it going? Lights, camera, rant. Good to see you. We don't have anyone here yet, which is fine. I'm down to be a one-man show for a bit. Even if no one's in here, I'll talk. It's all good. It's all good, my friend. Good to see you here, and good to see you on YouTube. You're like one of our very few YouTube subscribers, so that is appreciated. But I hope you have a great day, a good lunch. I've had dinner already, so we'll see how things go tonight. Should be fun. I'm posting on Instagram here. Just to, see if there's anyone else outside of our little group that wants to come say hi. So I'm not like Lee here. I'm not as good just talking one-to-one, but I guess I will. I'll bring in my own topics. We'll do that. We'll start there. We'll see how things go. And let's talk some TV. What about House of the Dragon? I'm super excited for House of the Dragon finale tomorrow. We're going to be doing a podcast on that, I believe on Monday night. That should be out late Monday. And we're talking about the whole series. Just all the characters, all the events. Here's the thing about House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones in general. I mean, I've got the Game of Thrones sign up here, but I'm not a massive, compared to Star Wars and Marvel, I'm not a massive Game of Thrones fan. I struggle, especially with House of the Dragon. I've been struggling a bit to kind of track a lot of what's going on and why it's going on, how it's going on. The character names, they're going to lose me. I'm bringing on an expert to talk about it, somebody that has read the books, and they're basically going to help me understand what the heck's going on. I can't believe it's almost over, man. Seems like just yesterday. I will say, I am a huge apologist, and I think maybe that's the best way to appreciate not only Game of Thrones, but House of the Dragon, is to come in with, no expectations, right? I've almost never disliked it. I even like the final season of Game of Thrones. I like House of the Dragon. There's even some stuff in the middle of Game of Thrones that people don't like, but I appreciate it. Just don't take it so seriously. I think that's the key. Lee, I know you don't watch it, but you've been listening to people watch it, so that's interesting. What other TV shows have been good this year? You know what I'm excited for? Now that House of the Dragon is over, I'm excited for The White Lotus, written and directed by Mike White, which will be taking its spot on the Sunday night HBO TV show. So super excited for that. First season was really incredible. Had the likes of Sydney Sweeney, who was really great. Haven't missed an episode of your show, man. Thank you so much. That truly means a lot. And same here. Since I started listening, even after we talked for a little bit, but I didn't hop on immediately. But then once I did, I was like, what have I been missing? I think you have a really good variety. You have really good guests. And you're always talking about stuff I like. I love the video game reviews, though. I know you were kind of like, you didn't do a lot of them, or you stopped doing them or something. And then you're like, did you like it? I'm here to tell you, I love it. So especially the Saints Row one, that was really good. So keep those up. I love those. I love video games. But yeah, I don't have a lot of video game podcasts to listen to. I've got a lot of Marvel and Star Wars stuff to listen to, like video game stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm on the outs in that I don't have week to week video game podcast that I listen to. But yeah, it's good to get that information somewhere in my podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I have for a very long time. And it's interesting because before it was like me listening to famous people do podcasts, or like, big like people that their job is to podcast at least. Um, and now, as I've been podcasting, I have met so many people that maybe not like hitting the charts, but like people that are in my position where like we're still up and coming, and there's still a lot of great opportunities for us. So now I've kind of dropped some of the bigger podcasts I listen to, and I listen to smaller podcasts, which is really interesting. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to like have a community of people that create these things. Um, and the cool thing about it, and I know Lee, you're really good at this. The good thing about like the community we've made, and yes, it's nice to like have the friends, but I think the big thing is like sharing tips and tricks to like break out, because sometimes, I felt this like before I even had like a lot of podcasting friends. I felt like, oh, I'm just kind of in a bubble, even if I feel close to certain people, like it's just those people, how do I break outside of that bubble? And I think that's a good thing that a lot of like the people that I've met on Instagram, a lot of those people are, it's all about breaking outside the bubble. It's all about trying to reach a new audience and sharing tips and tricks with each other and guessing on each other's shows and lifting each other up. So I think that's what's really special about some of the relationships I've made. There's a lot of things that I half-ass in podcasting. Exactly. That's what I like. We're out here grinding. But I was going to say something else. I don't remember, and that's okay, I think. Okay, I was talking about TV. So White Lotus, I'm really excited for that. I can't really think of much else that's coming out this year. I can talk about other shows I like this year outside of that. The Boys is always great. Always great. Look, I'll pull up my top 10 list. I keep a top 10 shows of each year list in my notes. And I'll go through those. I think that'll be a good thing to look at. Oh, what I was saying is I half-ass a lot of stuff. I go very skimping on the editing, which I don't really think, because again, listening to like a bigger celebrity type podcasts, they don't edit anything. I see a lot of people like really stressing about like, saying too many ums and ahs, and maybe there is a point where that gets too much, but I think even the flaws in your speaking becomes part of your character per se, and it humanizes you more and it makes you more relatable. That's at least my excuse for not editing as much as I do. But there's a lot of things I skimp on. Like, I'm just thinking about this. I was looking at microphones before I came on. I want the Shure SM7, and it's like the industry standard of microphones. And this thing's fine; it gets you by. But like, if I want to become one of the best, I've got to do the things that others have done. And that's the other thing about big podcasts, is they might skip on the editing, but they do not skip on the equipment. I think that is really important. Okay, let's look at number one show of the year. Should I start at number one, or maybe I should start at? I'll start at 10 because it's a show I podcasted about. And actually, only one show I podcasted about made it in my top 10 shows, and it's at number 10. Which that goes to show, I think, how much TV I watch outside of what I actually podcast about. And maybe Disney Plus a little bit, There's like maybe 4 or 5 Disney Plus shows that came out that did not make my list, and one did. And that's Kenobi. Kenobi is at number 10. It is my 10th favorite TV show this year, and I love Kenobi, guys. I thought it was really good. I think Little Leia, super. People hated on Little Leia. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is like an incredible character. I loved Little Leia. We'll go to number 9 here. Number 9, final season, Better Call Saul. I don't think Better Call Saul is the show for me. As I respect it, and as it made my top 10, I just dropped something. Oh well. It made my top 10, but it's like a courtroom drama. you know, with some of like that Breaking Bad drama thrown in there, which, you know, I appreciate the Breaking Bad stuff more than I do the courtroom stuff. And, you know, I don't know what that says about me, but is what it is. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent ending. I loved seeing the flash forwards to the stuff after Breaking Bad. I'm not spoiling anything, by the way. That's just like, you know, it's a format thing. They end up getting to the point where you see a little bit after what happens in Breaking Bad, and that's my favorite stuff. And seeing what Saul goes through after that experience it's my favorite. Oh, Lee, don't tell me you have not watched Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is my single favorite TV show of all time. Of all time. And better people, some people say, a lot of people come at me and they say, Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. I will never subscribe to that. And I'll respect your opinion if that's what you like. It's not for me. It'll never be close for me. Breaking Bad is above and in a way better than Better Call Saul. Yeah, you got to get on Breaking Bad, my friend. You got to. Okay, next is The Boys. I don't have a whole lot to say on The Boys. It's pretty good. Very, you know, I love the action in that show. I love they don't skimp on the gore. I love a lot of the, you know, political undertones they throw in there. I think that stuff is really fun. So yeah, The Boys. Next is one that took me by surprise because this is a show I was almost out on. I almost stopped watching this show altogether, but I stuck with it. And this show, it proved me wrong this year. Stranger Things was absolutely incredible. So good, you know. I'm sure even if you don't watch the show, you've seen the TikToks. It is so iconic. It is so smart. It is so original. It is so fun, and it is so dark. And I think that's like the perfect mix of a lot of shows. Stranger Things, if that's what you're referring to, I wouldn't rush to see it. Not like Breaking Bad. I wouldn't rush to see. Stranger Things is pretty good. I think it really does get slow in the second and third season, and I think it's going to end really well. But yeah, you don't have to go through all that. Don't feel stressed about Stranger Things. At number 5, we have one of my favorite animated shows, Love, Death, and Robots. Dude, I've had a burp. I'm going to mute, and I'm going to burp. You're not going to hear it. It's just been there. It's got to come out. Okay, that's it. I was done. Okay. Yeah, so Love, Death, and Robots. It's my 5th favorite show. It is an anthology show. Kind of like Star Wars Visions, if anybody has seen Star Wars Visions. Yes, thank you, Ghost. So good. It's hard to, it's an anthology show. Each episode is a new short made by a different production company, and they basically give you anywhere from 6 to 20-minute episodes of like a short animated story. And I love it so much. You know, if there was somebody that wanted to watch it, I could give them like my 5 favorite episodes. You could watch that and be good. You know, there's some stuff that kind of steps off here and there. But pound for pound, those good episodes, some of the greatest storytelling of the year for sure. I'm embarrassed to say I'm actually, because it's one of my favorite shows ever, I'm behind on Primal. I believe it is just wrapped, season 2, so I need to catch up on that. It's not on my list. It could break my list. We'll see how it falls. The next one, this was early. I actually think this one started in 2021 and ended in 2022. But if it ends in 2022, I count it as a 2022 show. It's Yellow Jackets on Showtime. Yellow Jackets is about a soccer team, a female soccer team. People, I guess they're like a travel soccer team, but their plane crashes in the wilderness, and it's kind of like turns into Lost, if you've seen that show. But it also goes to the future after the plane wreck, so it kind of spoils who kind of survives this situation, but it kind of shows their life outside and them trying to like grapple with the things that they've done. Really incredible. Devin, how's it going, man? Glad to have you here. So yes, I love Yellow Jackets. So good. If you haven't seen it, honestly, I don't know if Showtime does like 1 month free or whatever, but I would get it 100% just to watch the show. It's so good. I have like 10 new favorite actresses because of this show. Okay, but we're gonna move on to number 3. Devin, you just hopped in. I am ranking my top 10 shows of this year thus far. Some things have not finished, but I got to give it to Peacemaker at number 3. Again, another show that very graphic. It's kind of like everything I want the Marvel shows to be, and I very rarely am able. Not that I'm not willing to. I just realized Ghost is Mr. Marvel. I apologize. I saw the logo now. I was like, who is this? Yes, hi, Mr. Marvel. I called you Ghost. I hope that didn't offend you. I just didn't. I wasn't familiar with your Twitch handle. Anyways, Peacemaker, incredible show, great characters, and I think the thing is, it took me by surprise. I had almost no hopes because when you watch the Suicide Squad, I don't believe I would ever have Peacemaker in my list of, like, maybe even my top 5 people that I would want a TV show about. But we got it, and I loved it. It was so wholesome. You kind of get like this very much one side perspective of Peacemaker in the movie, and the TV show completely turns it around, builds him out into a 3D character, gives him stakes, gives him reasonings as to why he is the way he is, and I think that's what's so great about it. Okay, number 2. This one is really incredible, and this is one, I would tell people to go out of their way to watch. Station 11. Station 11 is so good. I believe it was on HBO. It's a limited series. It's based on a book. So one season, you're in and out. But ironically, it's about a pandemic that doesn't get better, unlike ours. It's kind of, you can kind of watch the show in the lens of like what would have happened if COVID really went off the rails, So I definitely recommend checking out Station 11. And this is another one that has a lot of different flashbacks. It shows like early days of their apocalypse, and then it flashes back to like really 10 years later, right? So you're getting perspectives of the same characters amongst many different years, and so touching, so surprising, so suspenseful. Really insane villain, some crazy deaths. Really good show. Station 11, you got to check that out. Number 1 movie of 2022 is, without a doubt, Severance. Severance on Apple TV Plus blew my freaking socks off. And I'm going to mention Lost again. I know I've already mentioned Lost, but I feel like this, unlike anything else, I think WandaVision came close to this. No other shows come close to it since Lost. Just the mystery box show of like stopping down every week and being like, what is going to happen next? Or ending the episode or seeing things inside the episode where you're like, I have no idea what that means, but I have to keep watching to figure it out. I'm going to give the premise of Severance here, so if you don't know about it, you will, and I think you'll like it. This guy works for this upper big... Oh, we have a guest here. Let me bring in Khalil.
Hey!
My friends. I was just talking about Severance. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, okay. Well, you got to do it. It's so good. Regardless, how are you? I said your name right. Khalil?
Yes, you did actually, yes. Which is, it's very weird to hear someone say my name right. So
yeah, no, I know I've known somebody named Khalil before, so it's spelled the same way. So I was hoping that I got lucky there. But you're doing well though.
Yeah,
this is our first time chatting. This is really exciting.
I know, it's crazy. We have something planned in theory eventually.
Yes, we do.
I have to catch up on Andor.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we won't talk about Andor, but you recently, what'd you go to a film festival recently?
I'm in the process of, like, I couldn't actually go because midterms are fun and stuff. No. But I did get basically virtual press access, accreditation for the Toronto After Dark Film Festival, which has like a kind of the horror sci-fi stuff. And so I basically got like a folder of a whole bunch of movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this how you saw Glass Onion?
No, that was TIFF.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I know you have a review out there, so I won't make you say too much, but thumbs up or thumbs down?
For what?
A
For
Glass Onion?
up.
Up.
Thumbs up for sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that one.
I thought it was gonna like it's one of those movies, and again, I know everyone should just go watch my review if you want to know, and I don't spoil anything in my review just so everyone knows. But I did go into it expecting it to be like the typical sequel tries too hard and fails, but this one isn't it's not that. It's the opposite. It's the Empire Strikes Back more than it is the Avengers: Age of Ultron, which
that's the best thing I could hear.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's really good.
Okay, what about you've caught up and finished She-Hulk, I presume?
Yeah, fully finished that one.
Yeah, what was your take on that show?
Oh, I loved it so much. What do you think?
It was a rocky road leading up to something that I thought was really great. I really did love the finale. There were episodes in there that were hit or miss for me, for sure, but I think overall I'm coming away positive. So,
which is it's kind of a hot take in a sense for a lot of people who have been like kind of not loving it so much, and reasonable people obviously as well. But it's just been because it is a show that falls into a genre, I think, because you look at like the style of it being one of those kind of like those 30-minute kind of legal comedy kind of shows.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not for everyone, as we know, because those shows were never like hugely popular for various reasons.
Well, I know it's not a comedy, but I was just talking about Better Call Saul, and my big issue with it was a legal show, and I couldn't get into it for that reason because sometimes I find some of that stuff just painfully boring, and maybe it's the fact that like She-Hulk went the opposite direction of it, where like things are not operating as they would in our actual justice system. There's like people using superpowers in courtrooms, so I know it was interesting.
Well, see, that's the thing. Unlike you, I find that so fascinating. Okay. Like, I'm one of the few people who actually likes episode 1 because of all of the like weird, nerdy, regulatory stuff that goes on with the Trade Federation. Like, I'm one of the only people I know where I'm like, I actually enjoyed episode 1 because it gets all weird and nerdy about like, stupid things that no one should really care about in a movie.
Well, I guess there's a fine line there because where I don't love episode 1, there's gems of it. I see where they're going with it, and it could all be like that, and I would be okay if it's done a little bit better, in my opinion.
Also has Darth Maul, so
Yeah, exactly.
That adds a little bit to it as well.
You can't go wrong. I've been thinking about something. I'm just going to tease it because I don't want to say anything completely. But I have been considering doing like a project on that movie and something about it specifically that I want to dissect and talk about. And I want to create a podcast that's like, fully edited with music, scripted segments, interviews. It would probably end up being Tommy Pizzilla is in here. He knows what I'm talking about. I want to go all out on.
So like what you're telling me is a conspiracy show, basically.
Kinda, yes. We'll say that.
That actually sounds awesome.
Tommy in the chat. Yeah, you like that idea, Tommy. We'll do it. I haven't stopped thinking about it. There was another idea we had that I don't think was going to work out, and I kind of like ever since I had the idea, I was like, I'm not doing that. But this idea was different. I had this idea, and now I just keep thinking of things to add on to it. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
You have to go for it then. Yeah. Absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
If I had the ability to actually like write a script, then or had the patience to edit videos, then that would be like something I'd like, that sounds awesome, except I get bored of editing very, very quickly, which is probably not good, but
Have you listened to the podcast Serial?
Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to do it very much in the vein of that. And I have to shout out my friend Alex Bazard and Evan Lian, who did a similar type thing where they were leading up to the new Batman movie, and they kind of, they did a similar thing with music, and it was edited. They had interviews and whatnot. But I kind of want to build off of that, and I feel like I actually have a good mystery in the vein of Serial that I'm willing to dissect. So I don't know. I'm not willing to spoil it because I'm not even sure if it's going to come together. And I realize that's like, why am I on a podcast like being so vague? But it's what it is.
Yeah, it does sound awesome, and maybe that's just because again, that's like that's like the high production value that I want, and I'm like I don't do it, so it's like if someone's doing it, it's like that's great.
Well, I was just on here before you hopped on. I was talking about how I half-ass everything on the podcast. Like, I edit as little as I like. I get away like I basically like unless there's like a serious mishap on the podcast where like somebody has to walk away or like I barely edit my podcast. Is kind of what I'm getting at. So, it would be a tall feat to go from like the most minimal amount of effort to like the absolute most.
But I feel like in that case, you'd probably have to go exclusively audio because I don't think the editing involved for the video side of things would even be worth the time and effort and honestly the storage space.
Yeah, there's no way. That's not happening. Yeah. So, but I don't know, Khalil, what's going on in your work, Khalil, like podcast wise? Like, you got anything cool coming up you want to talk about?
I mean, I have my interview series, which has been an ongoing, and there's still some things in the works for later on. But I did a bunch of interviews with famous people in Hollywood, but who are from Canada. It's called Hollywood in Canada. Pretty, good name. And so there's like 17 episodes of that which exist. I've done a bunch of the reviews for the Toronto After Dark Film Festival. I've got some other stuff that's like theoretically in the works, but way too far out to like talk about. But other than that, it's just been chill. And after the summer, I've kind of been just like, between school and that kind of just been, prioritizing. So,
yeah,
that's
the other thing. Like I've got a lot and that's kind of where like my half-assing comes from is like I've got a full-time job, I've got 3 kids, and it's like
I just have schools and I don't
I mean school, that's a child of itself, so I don't envy that position. So
have you seen Black Adam?
I have not. Have you?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to watch it. I
don't know if I do either.
I feel like I have to eventually, but I'm like, yeah. Have you seen Morbius?
So I had somebody come on my podcast and explain Morbius to me. Like they saw the movie, I did not, and they told me what the movie was. So in that respect, I know everything about it, but I did not watch it.
Actually, the other thing I'm doing, or eventually going to happen, is I am going to be doing an audio commentary, which I've not seen Morbius yet. So this audio commentary will be different in the sense that the person who I do my podcast with, Alon, has seen it, but I haven't seen it. So the audio commentary will be weird because it'll be my first time watching it, and it'll be his second time. So
and I think that's like a fresh perspective. And honestly, I think it might be like an underrated like element to like recapping things, because we had 2 Girls One Multiverse on our podcast this week. One of them did not watch Andor, and they were giving their takes having not seen the episode, which was like, it was so fun in its own way. Oh my gosh, not this. It's Tommy Pizzullo. No, it's Tommy O'Rear. How are you, Tommy?
Hello?
How are you, my friend? Hello?
I can hear... Hello?
He doesn't know what earpods do.
I had so many headphones that I'm just like throwing around. Hello, guys. Hello.
What's going on? I'm glad to see you. I thought you might be busy.
Yeah, I have like a 30-minute window, and I just had to come on and come banter. I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you, Tommy. This was there was like a good 15 minutes when nobody was here, and I was just talking to the chat, which that was fun in and of itself. Khalil saved the day, though. Glad to have you here. Yeah.
I hopped it. I came into the stream to watch for a little bit, and then I was like, okay, let's go in now.
Yeah, you have to let Michael like swim a little bit in like the deep end by himself.
Yeah. I was doing okay.
Yeah.
No, you were doing good, and I want to add a little bit more.
Yeah.
Flair.
Yeah. Maybe I should do it on a podcast sometime. Like we'll start like 10 minutes in, and then I'll just dip. I'll just leave, and you just got to go for it. Finish it without me.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, how's your night, Tommy? What do you got going on? We have no topic here. This is outside the norm for us. Usually I'm like reading from notes, but
we don't want to we could do like a recap of my day. All right, so picture this, Michael. Scene 1. I woke up. No, I went to IKEA. I had some Swedish meatballs. That was pretty good.
Nice.
I was kind of loopy today. I kind of was like a monster.
Yeah.
I was just like running around shouting things at people. My neighbor had a lawn. What is your feeling on like Halloween/holiday like decorations in your lawn? Like, how big would you go? How small do you think is like enough?
I've got some pretty like extravagant neighbors that go all out, and it's cool to see them do it. I would never do it, but I don't think there's a limit as long as you're on your property. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, my problem is when it's like your house may not look the best, but you have these giant not the judge, but it's like your house is like falling apart and you have these giant. So I walked by one of those houses today, but I was impressed with another house that had probably like 40 to 50 Barbies in their lawn with dinosaurs set up like they were attacking the Barbies. Like it was Jurassic. It was really good. I'll send you the pictures.
Well done.
To you right now.
Yeah.
I watched Over the Garden Wall. Have either of you watched the hit show of the 2000s that probably only I watched called Over the Garden Wall? It premiered on Cartoon Network back in the day.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, Tommy. I started it. I'm not, and I loved it from what I saw. I just need to get back to it. Lot going on.
It's fall, man. This is your time right now on the pod. Just start watching it and just commentate on your feelings, and that's the podcast.
Yeah. Khalil, are you a big animation guy? Like, is there any like animated TV shows you watch, like anime or anything like that?
So we're talking about animation or anime?
Well, both.
My anime is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 shows, and that's it. And that's My Hero Academia and the other one. God damn it, I can't remember. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan.
Oh. Yeah. It's a good one. Attack on Titan's a great one. Yeah, I'm a big My Hero guy. Been watching the new season. Hyped. Good show.
I think I watched both those shows I'd never finished, but I watched a good portion of. I don't know. I'm bad at watching TV that's come out. Like it's so bad at like there are so many shows where it's like I want to watch this. This looks good. I'll watch a season and then just give up on it. I've watched 1 season of Titans, and I'm proud to say that.
Yeah,
I think I'm proud to say that.
I think I made it through half the first season of Attack on Titans. And again, not bad. I think that's the thing. It's like at a certain point, if there's like multiple seasons of something, I'm not going to finish. I don't care how good the show is. At some point, I'm going to fall off.
It's a lot of content.
Yeah.
I don't have the attention span, unfortunately. Even binging stuff, like I don't have the attention span. The weekly Disney Plus stuff is just so much better, and even I'm worried about Andor now because I'm behind like 3 episodes. So I'm very worried if I'm actually gonna. I think I will because it's Star Wars and it's like, it's Star Wars. But there's a chance, a small chance, but there's a chance. I just never finish Andor, which is.
I will say, like the best is yet to come for you. If you're 3 episodes behind, I would say 2 out of the 3 best episodes are the ones you haven't watched.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying Andor, but I don't think I've been enjoying it as much as other people, which is
I'm kind of I've said this multiple times on the podcast, but like I like every 3rd episode of Andor. And then episode 7 kind of flipped the script on me because I really liked that one a lot, and it wasn't the 3rd episode, every 3rd episode. So, I like 3, 6, and 7. So I don't know. Hopefully the rest I'm just like I'm loving.
Okay, I have a topic for us to discuss.
Please, we need them.
What do you think of? So there's especially because the thing about Andor, and I don't know if this has changed at all in the other episodes since I stopped watching it, but so there's been this conversation about cameos and things like people think, oh, well, Andor has no cameos, therefore it's going to be a better show or a worse show. You hear all this talk about, cameos and nostalgia. At what point do you think we kind of look back and we're like, wow, is this really what we consider like nostalgia nowadays? It's funny. And the reason I kind of like overall talking this, I actually made a video, which I never released, where I just watch Jurassic World, the new one, whatever the new one's called. And I was just sitting there thinking about how one day we could be looking at Chris Pratt as like the nostalgic cameo that makes the new movie like amazing. And I kind of like was like, what about like more Jared Leto's Morbius? Like, is this the society we're going to be living in? I don't want this.
Michael, you're muted.
You're muted.
Wow, I said so much. It feels like. Well, I was also welcoming in Mr. Marvel. Welcome, glad to have you here. We're talking about cameos, and that's like a very scary thought that you just put in my head, Khalil. About like one day, Chris Pratt is like my kid's Jeff Goldblum or something. You know,
Yeah.
They're not even gonna know Jeff Goldblum. They were like, "There's other Jurassic Parks." All I know is Jurassic.
Not
World.
my kids. They'll be watching the right ones.
It's scary though, and that's why I never released the video, because it became me realizing, going down a spiral of realizing like what could be, and then I was like, this would be a lot of editing, or it's just like just leave it on the shelf for now.
That new one, Domino, was terrible.
Domino, yeah, that was trash. I kind of like the first Jurassic World. I don't think it's dog water like the other two are, but like the previous one before that were really bad too, and then the last one was like just icing on the terrible cake.
Yeah.
I think this is already kind of true though. In 2011, I worked at a summer school, and I taught film classes. And one of the things I was doing like practical versus like how we're going more into the visual world. And I used the Jurassic World, and everyone was like, yeah, I like the Jurassic World version better. And I'm like, oh no,
not that.
Yeah, it was like the wrong lesson they learned from it. I was like, yeah, they're gonna walk away from this being like practicals all the way, baby. And they were like, no, please give us the newer version. I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
You know what will be interesting though, on like the same track of like, looking like 20, 30 years down the road, like, because now as the people, I grew up with the prequels, and I was so young that I didn't have any critical opinion of things, right? So I just thought they were awesome Star Wars movies. I loved them so much. And now I've grown up, and like I still have that reverence for those movies, even though I can look at it with a more critical eye. So it makes me wonder, are there going to be kids now that are going to be defending Jurassic World 20 years from now, where they're like, yeah, they suck, but there's a lot of fun to be had. Like, is that going to happen? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I think so.
I think inevitably, yeah.
But they're not going to understand what brought it to where it is today, or what it could be, 20 years from now.
Yeah, true.
Like I think in another world, Star Wars would have been the same conversation had they like post the prequels, if Disney had never bought it and they just kind of sat on it for longer. You can't tell me that you don't think if they brought it back like in 10 years that people would not be looking at the prequels as like this amazing thing. And some people still do, which is strange to me. But
no, and I think that's a good point of like, I've been thinking about this a lot with Star Wars and Marvel in general. Like, are we muddying the water too much? Like, there's too much content where it's like, I feel like there's more excitement when it's like one movie a year. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be hyped. But now it's like, we're almost like, there's no roller coaster of emotion, because it's like, well, there's always content. Here we go, another show. If it's bad, don't worry, 2 weeks later we'll get another one.
Yep.
From a business perspective, that's very smart, because you constantly have shows that target different audiences on a consistent basis, right? So like you said, like if someone's doesn't love She-Hulk, they're like, okay, I'll just wait 2 weeks and then I'll get a go. Because then you think about it from a subscription standpoint, no one's canceling Disney Plus that they know in 2 weeks they're gonna get a show they might like. And so I think that from a business perspective, it's genius. But from a viewer perspective, I mean, I'm never going to complain about getting more content. Like, that's just, but I also can understand why people would complain.
That's what's so fascinating. And Tommy, this was like the whole conceit of our podcast, was the fact that, they came out with the schedule, and it was like, there was like a year where they didn't have a full year. There was not a single week where they didn't have something between Star Wars and Marvel. Is like, there will always be something to talk about. And we're still in that. And I think that's an awesome business structure where they're like, well, if you don't like this one, just wait. It's kind of like, the Chicago weather. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. If you don't like the show, wait 2 weeks, you're going to have a new one. And I think that's the reason we started this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. I guess I'm just like, I think it's like, as I've thought about it more, I'm like, it's great business, great for us. I feel like the movies are the thing that's hurting the most from it because it feels like it's like, oh, okay, this like I haven't really thought too much about the fact that Black Panther is like coming out like right around the corner because it's like I feel like I'm so like my eyes are on the TV shows and it's like, oh, here's this movie. Okay, thank you.
I think Black Panther might have gotten so lucky because I was talking about this before. I was one of the only people actually saying this, which made it very unpopular. But I was saying, obviously pre Black Adam, if Black Adam does as well as they expect it to, which it has not, by the way, it has completely flopped in all sense of that word. Based on early numbers, it's going to end up around like 500, which is not where they wanted it to be. But I'm not going to start ranting about that. Anyways, I was like, if Black Adam does well, and then you have like Avatar at the end of the year, Black Panther could end up getting almost completely ignored just purely because there's so much stuff in between it. People made like the fact that we're like, okay, well, we got She-Hulk and whatever, Werewolf by Night, and then we're going to get like Secret Invasion in January or February. I don't know when that actually comes out, but that idea of Black Panther could literally, the movie that made $1 billion last time around, over $1 billion, it could end up getting stepped on by these other two movies just because there's just so many and so few days.
Well, all I can legally say is that Black Panther is going to blow everybody's mind.
So I'll say this: I've had a turn on this, and it's the trailers. The trailers have been really good, Tommy. I know you haven't watched them. I won't say any specifics, but they've been so good, and like I've cried watching the trailers. But leading up to it, I was very nervous. Tommy, we did that prediction show. I think that might have been one of my predictions: is that Black Panther was not going to be well received, and the reason was there was like so many issues in the production of this movie. I believe they shut down production completely at certain points and came back to it and changed things. And
thanks to a certain cast member.
Yeah, you see, there are people not playing ball. Like there's a lot of things going on, and I was like, this seems like a recipe for disaster. So I'm rooting for it. I hope to God it's good. Like I have not liked the last two Marvel movies that much, so I really hope like this is the one we look back on for 2022, and I'm like, yes, this was great.
I did the same counting in my head to try to figure out which movies they were.
Yeah, I had to be like, wait, what movies didn't Michael like?
I mean, I don't hate, especially Multiverse of Madness. I don't hate it. I think it could have been done better. I really did not like Love and Thunder. I see the strongest Avenger hat here. I hope I'm not getting in trouble.
There needs to be a rationalization here, though. I need this rationalization right now. We have to discuss this because I love Love and Thunder.
So. Really, I think they took all the wrong lessons from Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok was like a very charming and funny movie, and I feel like Thor: Love and Thunder took all that. We liked it because it was charming. They think we like it because it was funny, and then they just packed it full of jokes that I thought were completely unfunny. That's my opinion.
Oh, I guess that's a fair.
I'm right there with you. I thought going into it was going to be amazing. It was going to be, taking right off from where we left. And it was not that good. I mean, I was about to put it in my top 5, but no, it was good. But the humor overweighed the story.
Am I the one who liked it more than Ragnarok? Is that a hot take?
I think that has to be.
Damn. Wow.
I don't know if I liked it more than Ragnarok, but I think I'm in the middle of I think it's a fine movie. I think I said this when we reviewed it, is I think it honestly suffers because of Ragnarok because it's just going to be compared to this, which was just so different and unique at the time in a time period that Marvel was kind of making the same movie every single time. And so then it was like, oh, Ragnarok comes in, it's this big thing, it gets tons of hype. And then I feel like it's like this movie was never going to live up to Ragnarok. And people were always, it was like the first thing people would say is like, well, it's not Ragnarok. And it's like, well, it's not, but it's still like a decent Marvel movie when we have some real trash Marvel movies still out there. People are giving this like a 40%. I'm like, all right, like it's not that bad.
I think the problem with Marvel though is more like I think that it's so because we live in this culture of like you have to rank things and yada yada yada, right? I think the problem is if you look at the content of Marvel, at least from my own perspective of watching and kind of seeing people's reactions and all this other stuff, it feels as though everyone like enjoy, like I don't see that many people who walk out of a Marvel movie saying that sucked, in the sense that I just didn't enjoy. Like a lot of people enjoy the Marvel movies. There's a reason they make so much money, right? But it's more of a, we have to rank these. So how do we differentiate between the great, the good, and the bad? Because like I look at my Marvel rankings and I'm like, you could make an argument that number like 5 through whatever 30 whatever there could be anywhere, and I would not complain. Like if you gave me 2 movies, which is my ultimate way to kind of decide which one I put higher, if you gave me 2 movies and said watch one of these 2, there's very few Marvel movies where I would definitely pick one over the other. It just,
I agree. I shared my rankings in our Discord earlier, and I was like, I'm not going to fight you about any of these. If you tell me that this one's better than that one, fine. That's fine. I specifically prefer this one. Some days I don't even prefer it as much as others. So it's like, there's a lot that are just, I'm not going to fight you about any of these.
I think you're too high on Black Widow still. Way down there. For me.
You think I'm too hot? Yeah.
But like that's the problem. It's like Black Widow is low for me, but I enjoyed it. Yeah. So it's like I don't like Black Widow. I think is 29th on my Marvel rankings, or no, I guess technically lower because I haven't ranked She-Hulk yet. But
Black Widow I think would be higher if it came out when it was originally supposed to come out. I think it suffered from like it got too pushed into the Phase 4 stuff, and it was like this is so jarringly different than what we're dealing with here in the other Marvel movies.
Yeah. I have it at 17.
Do you count the TV shows and all those in the ranking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the specials, no.
So like, wait, what are you putting it over though? Like, is it over Captain Marvel and Iron Man 3?
Yeah, you're naming them right now. Behind it, I have Multiverse of Madness at 18, Captain Marvel, Avengers: Age of Ultron, She-Hulk, Shang-Chi, Thor: Love and Thunder, and then all the other bad ones.
See, is Multiverse higher for me because I didn't watch the trailers, because all those things that were shocking for me weren't shocking for anyone else. So I'm sitting in the theater being like, this is groundbreaking. And everyone else is like, yeah, we saw it in the trailer.
Wait, where's Endgame for all of you guys in your kind of theoretical multiverse or MCU rankings?
Number 1. Literally.
Yeah, it's in my top 5.
Does anybody prefer Infinity War over Endgame?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
I hated Endgame. Like, as in, like Endgame is 12th for me, and you can make an argument it should go to 15th. Like, I hated and I did an audio commentary for Endgame as well. I'm
gonna check that out because I'm dying to know the full breadth of this take.
My problem with Endgame, is, to kind of summarize it, was I had a problem with that movie from the second that Super Bowl trailer came out. That trailer, I vividly remember and I think I have a reaction for that trailer too. I don't know if YouTube took it down because copyright stuff, but there's a chance that the reaction's still there. But after that trailer, I was like, I'm no longer excited for this movie in the same way that I was for like Infinity War. And the reason is 3 hours is too long for a movie. And also the tone, they completely screwed up the tone of that movie. They needed to keep it a dark, kind of somber tone, and they completely messed it up. Like they went away from that kind of half the universe just died thing really, really quickly. And I just like Hulk making taco jokes is not in that movie.
Well, I think the theme for me, well, I agree. I would probably prefer a darker film. But I think the perspective that they were taking and at the point they were at and wanting to solve the problem, I think that they were all more hopeful, and that's shown through a lot of their actions. And even that taco scene, it's like we still got each other's backs, and we got the people that aren't here's back too.
Yeah, I'm back forth on the two. I like, for me, I like both. I like Infinity War because the pacing is one of the best. Like, it's the one movie where it's like there's one thing happening and we're not going off and taking time to do other. We're in it. This is all that's happening here for this entire movie. So I love that, and like that feeling of like this is go time. There is no slowing down. The heroes don't even get a chance to breathe. It's like villain shows up. It's like Infinity
War is one of the fastest like almost 3 hour movies I've ever watched. And I think the Endgame is the opposite of that, in the sense that if it's 3 hours, I'm not even joking. Every time I watch it, I get about 15 minutes in and I'm like, I just can't, it's just so slow. Like I'll forward to like the end fight, but like, it's like, also there is a difference when you think about the fact that Infinity War's main kind of battles are both in the day and there's sunlight and it's not dark, literally, like lighting wise dark, and yet Endgame's big battle is in a dark CGI like landscape, but all hidden because budgets and stuff.
Yeah, but they threw Howard the Duck into that big battle scene and everybody missed him.
Yeah. I want to get you guys' opinion on this, because this is something that I feel like a lot of people didn't agree with me at the time. I haven't like vocalized it, but I find the cliffhanger of Infinity War to be insanely stupid and insulting. Like that is probably my least favorite cliffhanger I've ever seen.
The death snap thing?
The dusting, yes.
Did any of you guys feel emotion during that or no?
No.
Really? No,
I did. I cried. Emotion. I cried. Fully cried.
It was. It took you to a different place. Like, what's going to happen next?
So I will say the Spider-Man one particularly got me. So there was some emotion there, but like I'm watching these characters fall out, and I'm like, oh, you have another movie coming out. You have another movie coming out. What? Nobody here's actually dead, and I have to wait a year to figure that out. It's like, I don't know. For me, that did not work.
I think the difference in my mind is, like, yes, about 3 minutes after I left the movie theater, I was like, okay, yeah, they're all gonna obviously come back. But what stuck with me was that instantaneous reaction when it happened, because it was so, at least in my mind, out of, like, I did not see that coming. And it's very hard to surprise me in a movie because I watched a lot of movies and also I'm on the internet. So, between the internet and watching a lot of movies, it's very hard to surprise me. But that one just shocked me. I didn't see that coming. Like, that was wild to me. And I was in that instantaneous moment. I was like, oh shit, like that's wow. And then, obviously later on I realized, oh yeah, okay, they're all obviously gonna come back. But that instantaneous reaction is more my, like, what I'm judging it on.
Yeah, but everybody getting dusted and everything that they have on their person gets dusted with them, except Nick Fury's pager. I mean, come on. That really...
It's a space pager. I know it isn't, but like...
Well, no, it's a Radio Shack pager.
You know what it was, Mr. Marvel? He was able to feel that the dusting was coming, and he flicked the pager just enough to get out of his hand, so it wasn't that's what it was so clear that's what.
No, it was wrapped in a protective case, so that the protective case went, but the pager didn't.
It was from Radio Shack.
But like,
there's nothing protective from Radio Shack.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I hear you on the dusting for me didn't do as much. I think emotionally I was more hit by the end of Infinity, Endgame. Like, man, that stuff is tough. But to me, what I love about Infinity War is like they're bold enough to just be like, yeah, the villain wins. See y'all. See what happens in the year. Like, it's like, that's crazy to me. And that's like I was impressed by Marvel just being like, yeah, we're just gonna have the villains win. That's all. Bye.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's because Marvel's had so many villain problems. Seeing a movie, the good Marvel villain was just because like that was I think Marvel's actually done an underratedly good job of rectifying their villain problem. Almost to in my own view, they have a villain problem, but it's the exact opposite. Now it isn't just some random dude you can't sympathize with. Now it's someone who's too like you sympathize with too much. You think of a Ghost, you think of Taskmaster. Like, now they have the opposite problem, which is they don't have any more villains. Now all their villains are just even Christian Bale, his character Gore, and is like, the fact that he's like literally just a sob story type thing is like kind of,
Yeah, and I think that's what we are getting to this point where it's like, we're shepherding in the Young Avengers, and even most recently with Scar, and it's like, yeah, we have these very like D-list heroes, and it's like sooner or later it's like, what comes after that? What comes after that? And I think we're already there with the villains a little bit. I think we got maybe like 4 good, like notable, strong villains that we can bring into the MCU. And other than that, it's like I do want to touch on Taskmaster though.
Okay, go ahead.
The British TV show, it's great. Love Taskmaster.
I'm a very anti MCU Taskmaster, so
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are. But I'm not a comic book guy. I don't read the comics. I know Taskmaster from a couple video games. Other than that, I like Taskmaster because she just looks cool and she fights cool, and that's it. And we don't have to overcomplicate it.
But they did overcomplicate it. That's the problem. They did. That's their fault.
How?
They gave her a sympathy. They made us feel bad for her. I don't like. You're right. That's what Taskmaster should be. Taskmaster should just be someone who looks cool and fights cool. But they made it a character. They made that character like a real sympathetic character. So now we have to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Marvel did it, not us.
Well, I feel like a lot of the conversation at the time, and Tommy, I feel like this was something you were saying to me, was that this is all we're using Taskmaster for. Like, I can't believe such a great big role is being wasted here. I'm like, I don't know how big it could be, so therefore I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I do think to your point, if it's just an assassin, great. When you connect it to the other bad guy, and it's like, oh, it's the big twist. I don't know how much we want to.
It's Black Widow.
It's Black Widow. I don't really. Yeah.
It's
I mean, the fact that it's connected to the daughter, that's the part where I'm like, did we need to go to this point? I think I would have liked it more to your thing of it's just an assassin that just happens to be really good at this stuff. I might have liked it more than I did like Taskmaster. And I do think you're right about the point of it's hard because I know Taskmaster. I've seen a lot of versions of Taskmaster that I really like. So then it's when I know I'm only getting these characters maybe one time, even Wrecking Crew on She-Hulk, there's a part of me that's that's all we get from
No,
them.
we're getting more of Wrecking Crew though.
Okay, cool.
I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying I would be very, 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 very surprised if they don't show up again. For example, in a movie like Thunderbolts, which I have a lot of predictions about.
Really though, I guess. And maybe the Wrecking Crew, the people that were in one scene and then another guy reformed himself from, I don't know, I don't know that I need or even want any more of that. I don't know.
That's my point. Is they really they're doofy in the comics. Don't get me wrong, but they really were just you want Wrecking Crew? Here you go.
I think there's still so much potential in that, just because Marvel doesn't really care what you want, and that's been apparent for.
Yeah, but they pulled all these D-listers, and those are one and dones. We're never going to see Man-Bull again. We're not going to see the Wrecking Crew, and there might be a hint towards it, but that's done. They're going to just pull other D-listers if She-Hulk does get another season, or if there is actually a movie, more D-listers.
You say that, but how surprised would you be if Man-Bull makes an appearance again, just randomly?
Well, Man-Bull is a Daredevil villain. So why was Man-Bull even there?
It's a good question. Maybe Man-Bull was, sent to whatever.
Man-Bull never came up against She-Hulk in the comics. So it just was very confusing. But I know we had Man-Bull to introduce Daredevil is coming, but I don't know.
The only way I know Man-Bull, I'm not even gonna lie, is because of the Lego Marvel video game. I think it was the Lego I don't remember which game it was, but I remember one of them. There's a mission. I think it's it was the Marvel Lego Superheroes 2 or whatever. There's a side mission where you had to be Man-Bull, and that's the only reason I know who Man-Bull is.
That sounds like how I know Taskmaster, honestly. I can't even remember specifically how I knew Taskmaster, but it's probably something like that.
The Spider-Man game?
Well, not that specifically, but just a very obsolete.
Or the Avengers game. He's been in a lot of things, though, before they brought the character into the MCU.
Actually it was Spider-Man, now that you mention it.
Or of the Avengers video game had Taskmaster, I think, as well.
Because I don't think I've played an Avengers video game, so it must have been...
I mean, the weird one that they had. Did you not play that weird one that just kind of disappeared? The one they're teasing for like 10 years and then they come out and then it's like, oh, okay.
Is that the one where you start off as Kamala Khan?
Yes.
Oh, it was so bad.
I played like
they were hyping that up for so long and then it just vanished.
It's the voices for me in video. You gotta find voice actors that sound somewhat similar to the actual actor.
Yeah, What If?
Yeah. Well, What If wasn't that great?
That's what I'm saying. That's the exact problem with What If is.
I like that's it. I like What If.
Why though? Please, I need to understand this. I don't understand this.
I was talking about Love, Death, and Robots before. I don't know if either of you guys have seen, but it's kind of similar to What If. It's like an anthology. Each episode is a new story. It's animated. I like it, and a lot of those episodes, I don't love them, but there's always like 3 or 4 that kind of blow me away. And for me, it's Marvel Zombies. It's the Doctor Strange one. And I'm one of the few that really like the Captain Carter one. I hold all of these things with high esteem. And that is enough for me to say that I really like the show. I think the other ones are fine. Actually, I think Party Thor is dog water. I hate that. It's not fun at all. And other than that, I'm okay with the rest.
I just think there's a lack of creativity. Like you look at like the potential for What If, and it's like the creativity is just not there. You know, it's like if they feel so lazy and it bugs me. And then also the mix of like the kind of like some MCU characters are coming back as with voices and some aren't. And it gets very, very weird very quickly for me.
But now, are you excited, Michael, for season 2 of What If when the big rumor is we're getting Robert Downey Jr. back to voice Iron Man?
I was excited to hear because I haven't heard anything about season 2 rumors or otherwise. So I did not know that, but yeah, I mean, I'm on board for whatever they throw at me. Again, there's going to be some that I love. There's going to be some that I hate. There's going to be some that I'm fine with. But I think that comes with, again, any anthology show. And especially in contrast, if you have a really great episode, the other ones aren't going to look as great either. So I think by design, I'm going to like some of it. So.
Okay, now, are you more excited for What If? So, okay, rank these shows. Spider-Man freshman year, What If season 2, whatever they're doing with the Marvel Zombies like spin-off, or I don't know if they said it was gonna be like a movie or whatever, or like a TV movie or whatever, but that and then X-Men 97.
Okay, so you said I think you said 4 shows there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All their upcoming animated stuff.
Number 1 is Zombies, because I love the Marvel Zombies episode. I'm so excited for more of that. Number 2 is What If. Number 3 is X-Men, and number 4 is Spider-Man.
Why is X-Men so low?
Because I didn't watch the original.
Okay, why haven't you watched the original?
It's free on Disney Plus.
It is. I watched X-Men, what is it called? Ultimate growing up? Like that's what I grew up on. And it wasn't available to watch until recently, and even now it's kind of like I don't.
You have children. Why have you not watched it?
Listen, they like Spidey and My Amazing Friends or whatever it's called. So
I love that show so much. I also watched it all, and
Why'd you watch it? I would not have watched it if I didn't have kids.
I've watched every single animated everything Marvel's done, like on the TV side, because it's also because like I was like starved for content, and so that's like
I'm not against watching X-Men. There's so much other stuff that like, am I really going to go watch an animated show from the 90s? I don't like.
Yes,
it's not high as some. Okay.
Oh, it is amazing. It is literally the best. I grew up on that.
Also, just weird random self plug. I did an interview with the guy who plays Beast in that, and who's going to play Beast in 97, and he's awesome. And he also played Santa, so that's fun. Cool. Did you watch Ultimate Spider-Man?
No.
No? With White Tiger and Iron Fist and Luke Cage. Oh, it was a bad show, but it was a fun bad show. All those shows were fun bad. Even like Avengers. Did you watch Avengers Assemble? Avengers Assemble or whatever that was called.
No.
Did you watch Superhero Squad?
I don't watch the animated, especially like pre-MCU. Animated Marvel stuff is not my category.
But you have kids.
That's fair, but my kids are also 3 and 4. My son likes he likes Hulk, We watch some of the Hulk stuff. But even when they're watching something, like I am not paying attention. So
That's fair.
but yeah, I just for me, it's not that I'm against it. I just was never exposed to it, and I'm not against. If you tell me now, like if you tell me X-Men is the greatest animated Marvel thing of all time, and I need to watch it, I'll probably watch it this week. So,
have you seen the original Spider-Man show, which kind of connects to that one?
No. I watched what is it called? X-Men Ultimate? Is that what it's called? Or Unleashed or some shit?
Please just tell me you're not thinking of X-Men Evolution. As long as you're not thinking of that one, I'm good.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
The one where there were like kids in a school?
Yes.
I did an interview with Kitty Pryde from that show too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We better not roast her, or I'm going to contact Kitty Pryde and tell her that you hate her show.
I just know the fact that that's the only X-Men animated thing you've watched is kind of.
You know what
weird.
it is? Because I watched Samurai Jack, and they came on back to back. So every week I would watch Samurai Jack and X-Men Evolutions.
Okay, so now weirdly switching. Have you seen? You've seen the original or like the good Clone Wars, right? Not the long.
Well, I've seen both, and don't come after both Clone Wars are great if you watch them correctly, which is by not watching half of it. But go ahead.
Have you seen? We're just gonna go through animated shows to see if you've seen them. Have you seen that stupid show, The Resistance, or whatever it's called?
No, I actually want to.
Good. No.
Okay.
No.
Don't.
I look as someone who again watches everything animated because I don't even know why. I couldn't get through that show. I got through one season and it's not a good show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen Super Friends?
No.
My entire childhood is just broken apart.
I mean, I watched freaking, like I said, I'm watching everything else basically. I just wasn't exposed to a lot of Marvel stuff. I grew up
What'd you grow up watching then?
Fucking Fairly Odd Parents, bro.
Okay. You didn't watch any superhero?
I don't think that's that weird.
No, but
SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron.
Wait, so when did you get into superheroes?
How old are you? I
am 19.
You're 19.
Yeah.
This is incredible to me.
Man, I grew up on Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. I'm 10 years older than you, Khalil, and you seem to have seen more animated things than I have.
Yeah. So wait, when did you get into superheroes?
Iron Man. No, that's not true. Spider-Man. 1.
You know, there'd be first Tobey Maguire one, which was don't know years. What year was that in? Does anyone know?
2000.
2000 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was after 9/11.
Mr. Marv, when did you get into superheroes?
I got into superheroes probably in 86, 87.
So have you seen any of the shows I've named?
No. That went way over my
Hello,
head.
that's what I'm saying. I think you're overestimating how many people actually watch it. I don't know. We've got a couple people in chat. If I'm out of line here, I don't have people seen Super Friends or whatever you said? I don't know. I've never even heard of that.
Awesome. That was an awesome show.
The last animated Marvel show I saw would have been What If?
What was the first one you saw though?
Oh, X-Men when it came out in the 90s.
Did you see have you seen any of the Batman animated stuff?
No, I'm not a DC guy.
None of that?
I can't handle DC. I do like Titans though on HBO Max. That is freaking amazing.
Have you seen any of the Teen Titans shows? Any of the animated ones?
Nope. I've seen when I scroll through the guide, I'll see Teen Titans, and I'm like, nope, that is a
no, not the new one. I mean the original one where they were okay. Have you seen Young Justice?
Nope. No. DC is just not on my board. I mean, Batman, yeah, all day, but animated. Mm-mm.
So you've never even seen the original Batman animated show? You've never seen
I'm more baffled that the youngest person on this podcast is lecturing us on 30-year-old animated shows
on what we need to watch.
Well, because that's what see, despite the fact that because I was my childhood was basically just Teletoon retro, and so all of those old shows just were the entirety of my I fell in love with superheroes from those old shows, right? So that was like the initial thing, because I would just watch that, and then it just, because obviously, demand on demand and streaming was not really, a thing, which is weird to say because like I'm like 19, I'm not that old.
You should have had streaming. You should have had like TiVo.
No, well, I mean, at least I never was able to do it I was never to use it by myself, right? Like it was more of I just turned on the TV to the channel and then it played stuff constantly, right? And so, but it's like that was the stuff that I grew up on. I never watched any of the other I obviously watched Fairly Odd Parents and all that other stuff too. I watched too much TV as a kid. I also watched animated shows for so much longer than most people. That's the other thing, because I watched them for like years. Longer, like years longer than most people would have.
Yeah,
because
that's fine.
Superheroes.
We don't judge. Did you guys watch Samurai Jack though?
On and off.
It was one of those late night Tsunami, and it was on. I'd watch it. I think Inuyasha. I don't know how to pronounce it. That was gangster.
What
Johnny
about
Test?
I think I was in high school when Johnny Test came out.
That wasn't a no or a yes.
So no, I wasn't watching cartoons in high school.
Okay.
I was too cool for.
was.
There was a point where I was a kid watching cartoons, and then I was like too old for cartoons, and now I'm an adult where I'm like, I'll watch cartoons. I don't care.
Yeah, see, I never got to that point where I was too cool for cartoons. Like half my diet of movies and shows are cartoons and animated stuff, and it's strange, but at the same time, it's not. So
what about Airbender?
Yeah, although that was a recent thing. I just watched it for the first time recently.
I've never seen the cartoon, but I saw the live action, and I heard they're going to do another one.
So you got the peak form of Avatar, right?
Oh, and it was even better when they dropped the reference in Moon Knight.
yeah. I watched Avatar was one I watched on and off as well. Just kind of caught it when it was on, and then everyone started watching it again. I was like, oh my god, do I need to rewatch it? I don't know.
Yeah, see, well, it was weird because there was such a long time where people were trying to get me to watch it. And then it was literally, I think, one of the pandemic years, which I feel like there's so many of them now. But one of those years, I broke my ankle and I couldn't go anywhere because the pandemic and also having a broken ankle meant I was basically just stuck watching TV, which, oh no, so sad for me. No, it wasn't. It was an awesome way to spend a summer. But basically, I finally gave in and I was like, fine, I'll watch it. And I binged the entire thing because I couldn't go anywhere. So I was kind of held hostage. And I binged the entire thing and then Korra, and I loved it so much. But yeah.
Okay, last one I'm going to throw at you guys. Has anyone seen Primal?
No.
Got to. It's made by same guy who did Samurai Jack. But it's kind of cool because Samurai Jack was built for a younger audience, but now he's older, I'm older, and he's making shows for older audiences. Primal is one of the goriest animated shows I've ever seen. It follows a Neanderthal who befriends a T-Rex, and enough said right there.
Oh, that makes for a great show. I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
What TV do you watch now, though, besides Marvel and superhero stuff?
I went through 10 of them that I loved this year. Here, I'll quickly go through it again. My top 10 of this year, I'll go in repeating order: Kenobi, Better Call Saul, Paper Girls, The Boys, Stranger Things, Love, Death and Robots, Yellow Jackets, Peacemaker, Station 11, and Severance.
No Cobra Kai in that?
I don't watch Cobra Kai, unfortunately. Yeah, I actually did. I think I watched I almost finished the first season, and then I didn't.
My TV diet has been superhero stuff, and then nothing that's come out this year. I don't like TV in general, so my TV diet is basically I watched Friends, or I started watching Friends for the first time. I started watching Gilmore Girls for the first time. Yeah, it's nothing, and then all the superhero stuff and Star Wars stuff.
Well, if you're watching Friends and Gilmore Girls, you got to put on the Creek, Dawson's Creek, because that is
next on the list.
That's incredible, and then jump into The Office, Parks and Rec.
No, this is never happening.
What?
I have this random weird. I refuse to get on the bandwagon thing for The Office that I will never watch it because everyone wants me to watch it so badly.
Oh, you will love it.
Oh no, I probably would, but I'm not going to watch it just out of stubbornness.
I have shows like that, and that's the other thing. So a lot of my TV diet as well. I don't include it in my scripted rankings, but I love reality TV. I watch a lot of reality TV. Do you guys watch any reality? Like, is there one reality TV show?
Hate it.
Below Deck. Below Deck is my
Okay.
favorite.
I don't watch that, but okay, that's respectable.
Mhm.
Khalil, why do you hate it?
Reality TV to me is just so either feels so fake or is so boring. If it doesn't, like, there's no reality TV show that feels real and is also like fun.
Let me correct myself, because there's a specific type of reality TV I like, and I think it's the most real type of reality TV. It's reality social strategy competition shows like Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race, The Mole, which just came out, The Circle, The Challenge. These are shows that are real people in real situations. And yes, you can make arguments that, like, sometimes they edit situations to make it seem a little different than it actually occurred, but it is like the truest form of reality TV. Because it is a competition, and there are little laws surrounding the fact that you can't change things and you can't script things and you can't come up with things. So, I'm just throwing that out there. I could recommend things if you want to.
Dig deep into like the real world and road rules and real world and road rules challenges. I mean, MTV, they monopolized that aspect, and it was amazing. But you just don't get that same type of reality anymore.
Yeah, competition shows is something. Actually, funny thing about competition reality TV shows, that's what I really want the Wonder Man show to be, which is like a whole bunch of people. Like, it's like a Marvel's version, because like they do versions of various other kinds of shows, right? So I wanted the Wonder Man want the Wonder Man show to be like a whole bunch of people, like all these different like actor characters we've seen in the MCU, right? Because we've seen so many of them. We've seen like Ralph Boner, we've seen Mandarin, but like other one, like not real one, right? We've seen all these characters who are like actor kind of characters. So it'd be awesome to see all of them like auditioning for the role of Wonder Man, because Wonder Man is like a character, like it is, that's like who the character is. And then, one of them gets powers that they can figure out a way to put that in. I've not thought it that much further through, but like, one episode, everyone gets eliminated and then you have like one person left. I don't know. I thought that'd be a fun, like, no, obviously it wouldn't be a real reality show, but it'd be like a fun, different thing.
See, I like that. And where you were at with the Mandarin, the fake one, the actor, the British guy, I want to see like a short where they're interviewing people for that role.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. I could do a special. We could do a special on that. We don't need a full movie. We don't need a TV show, but like, 45 minutes of that.
Marvel should bring back the one shots. They should do, like, why not? Honestly, I feel like not everything needs to be serialized and needs to be, a part of, like, I feel like Marvel can really get some good mileage off just one-off. Kind of like shorter versions of like what Werewolf by Night did, which is just, it doesn't need to be big and flashy. It can just be a thing, right?
Well, what about the buzz right now with them doing a special on Nornrad, the Silver Surfer?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
That could be intense.
Here's my thing about the one shots, and I kind of see it from their perspective, whereas like they're looking at it like, okay, there's one of two things up until this point. Before Werewolf by Night, they're like, either you're a movie that's going to bring us box office numbers, or you're a TV show that's going to bring us subscribers. Now, they're also introducing these specials, which are like, here's an added bonus. It's during a holiday. It's fitting the thing. You want to watch something spooky? We got it. You want to watch something Christmas related? We got it. Yeah. It's like kind of just the cherry on top of it all. Where do the one shots fit in? It's not necessarily like associated with something people want to watch. It's not a TV show that people feel like they have to watch, and it's not a movie that they're going to make serious numbers on. So I think that's their perspective. It's like, how do they justify putting money into something like that?
Well, I think that the first part of it is you can literally do it. Like they don't need to be long. They can be tacked on to like the creation of them, I guess, or like the content for them can be kind of tacked on to, the filming of another movie, right? Like, it doesn't need to be that much. And I think you can get mileage on it in the sense of, because it's so cheap to make, and there's, you don't really need to do any work CGI wise. Like you can it's just basically a kind of another added bonus thing where it's like, hey, you've got some time between She-Hulk and Black Panther, or with it, whatever. Here's just something fun you can watch it that people can love. Like I think one of the biggest things that came out of Comic-Con that one year was that Thor special about what was he doing during Civil War, right? And I think you could get mileage on something stupid and fun like that. I think there is a market for that. Obviously they would know better than I do, but
well, there's definitely a market. Like I want to know, we've got the Marvels coming up, next year, whatnot. How did Maria Rambeau get introduced to this team? The last time we saw her was at the end of the WandaVision, and she's talking to a Skrull, and then boom, there's your one shot. Fill in that gap.
I mean, yeah, like that's the thing. Like, and it can be like, in a way, it can again do what they want to do with the TV shows, which is get a lot of the explaining of the unnecessary or like useless stuff out of the movies, and just give it a place to be. This is furthering that kind of agenda, because the other thing you do, and I think Marvel's kind of this is happening, is when Marvel does something like Black Panther being almost 3 hours is very frightening to me, in the sense that I'm scared it's going to have so many slow points because they're going to have to explain. And I don't think, like, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I hope it's not the case. I'm worried though that it might be the case, just because they have this tendency to do the explain that doesn't need to be there. And I think they're trying to move that off, but I hope they can. I think it just helps them more, is the long or the short of what I just said.
Have you seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Kind of.
Specifically. What do you mean, kind of?
As in, I've physically watched it all. Like I've seen the whole thing. I don't remember any of it.
If there were an animated version, would you have remembered?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not even lying about that.
Well, the reason I ask is because that's one of the greatest film trilogies of all time, in my opinion. I'd say it's top 5. And they're all 3-hour movies. And I wanted to bring this up to you earlier because you said you hated 3-hour movies. I don't.
I love Lord of the Rings, so there's a connection.
When I go to my watch list on Letterboxd, right, I will sort by length, and I will watch the shortest one on my watch list. So I get the need for a short movie. With that being said, when it comes to big set pieces like Lord of the Rings and Marvel movies, I'm down for a 4-hour movie. I'm especially like an Avengers movie. Like, you're telling me you want to tell an Avengers story in an hour and a half? I don't want that. I don't need that. And same goes for like big fantasy things, like even Dune most recently. Like, you can stretch that stuff out as long as you want. Like, a lot of the stuff I'm probably going to end up watching at home anyways and watching in segments. So it is what it is. It's like a TV show at that point.
I have this problem in the sense of like, it feels like I feel like the best kind of movie is when you do want more, and you're like, why did this have to end? But I feel like that's the perfect, like, if you're at the point where people are like, okay, I'm done now. I feel like that's when you've kind of, like, you never want people to be satisfied with the movie. You want people to want more, right? That's the idea of a good movie. And I feel like, and I think one of the most obvious, blatant examples of this, which drove me crazy and I hated watching, was the Zack Snyder version of Justice League. I hated it so much because it just was so unnecessary and long. And I was like, I've never watched a movie like that in parts before, but I had to watch it in parts because I physically could not sit through the entire thing at once. It was too much.
But it was still the same movie. It wasn't horrible. It was just a different take.
It was just long.
I don't see it. Do you think it's worse than the original one, though? That's why I think it's longer, but it's better.
I think it's better. There was more content to it, and I enjoyed that.
we needed content for that because that was my thing with the last one. I was like, I don't know who Cyborg is, and then they gave me Cyborg and built his character out, and I'm like, wow, I feel way more invested in the team at this point because there's like a missing piece, and now I have it.
Well, look at the first Suicide Squad. You had Jared Leto as the Joker, and he had hours on hours of film, and we got like 10 minutes.
I'm gonna have to defend my favorite DC movie of all time. Not my favorite DC movie of all time, but one of my favorite DCEU movies. I'm gonna have to defend it now. I love.
Wait, hold on. Suicide Squad? Is that where we're going?
Yeah, the original one.
Oh yeah, I'm not mashing.
I love it.
It was great. The second one was better, but the first one, I wanted to see more of Jared Leto's Joker. That's what I wanted.
I wanted to be Jared Leto's Joker, and so
whoa.
I'm not even lying. After I watched that movie, I wanted to just for the fun of it, be Jared Leto's Joker for Halloween, but I didn't want to dye my hair, so that was like
get the face tats and everything.
I was legitimately going to do it just because it would be so funny, but then I didn't want to dye my hair, so that was the end of that.
Listen, I think what you guys are saying is a hot take right now. I think people hate Jared Leto's Joker. I've typically found myself being the one to defend it. I think it's a unique take on the role. I like Jared Leto as an actor, actually.
Well, I hate Jared Leto as an actor, so I just like the character of the Joker, and I like Jared Leto's performance in that. Maybe it's because I'm biased towards anything Joker related, but I don't know. I mean, I think but I think Suicide Squad actually is a very good version of the movie to to use in this case, right? Because I feel like, and even honestly, the original version of the Justice League movie, the weird hybrid version, I feel like those two movies are actually really good examples that prove my point, because you can argue some things about like the specifics of the story and whatever, but they are fast paced, and like those, at least for Suicide Squad, let's ignore Justice League for a second because it's a lot harder of a case to make. But for Suicide Squad, that's a movie which I'm not going to lie to you, I will watch the whole thing through, and I love watching that thing. Obviously, until the third act where it just gets unwatchable and terrible, like laser beam onward kind of time. But like, I do really love that movie, and I do like, it's just such a fun. It's like Infinity War, where it's like you turn it on and you're no matter where you are in the movie, you can just watch it and just you don't feel like you're really watching something where it's like, oh my god, this has been like an hour or whatever.
I've said this: the Suicide Squad has the biggest difference in quality between the trailer and the movie. I think the trailer is one of the greatest trailers of all time, and I think the movie is one of my least favorite superhero movies personally.
But like, why didn't you like it?
I found it boring. I found it convoluted. It is a music video, and I think that's what I liked about the trailer is that it is a music video. But I needed more than a music video in the movie.
So, what did you think about Birds of Prey?
I loved Birds of Prey.
Oh, it was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. It was good.
It's hard to put Mary Elizabeth Winstead in anything and have me like hate it. So
I don't know, like a lot of the mid-tier DC stuff, like I just don't know what to think about it. Like I put Birds of Prey, kind of Aquaman. I'm probably one of the only people who didn't like Shazam.
Oh, Shazam was incredible. Come on.
I like Shazam.
That was awesome.
I hated it. It was just, and now maybe this is because I literally watched it for the first time on a plane. Because I don't even know. I just completely fell off my radar. I think fell off a lot of people's radar looking at how much money it made. But when I watched it for the first time, I was like, it's just, the best part of it is the end credits scene, probably. So, not the Superman one, the other one, the worm or the brain. I don't know.
Are you excited at all for Shazam 2?
Like, no. Like, if I had to rank my excitement for everything coming up, honestly, I can say honestly with full confidence, I'm more excited for the Madam Web movie than I am for Shazam 2. Now,
I'm so excited for Madam Web.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah, I love the cast. I love the plot that I heard, at least.
Wait, what's the plot you're thinking of, like, that you heard? Or
I heard it on another podcast. I'll shout them out. The Slash Film Daily podcast. They laid it out a little bit. I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know what the source was, but it sounds like kind of a time traveling, or maybe not time traveling, but multiversal, different Spider-Man coming together to protect a baby Peter Parker from another time traveling multiversal thing that's trying to kill him.
I've heard Spider Slayer for the villain. I don't know if that's like accurate, but that's what I've heard. I don't, because and they're going to go for that kind of like Terminator-esque thing where it's like, you know, evil Spider Slayer and, you know, these 3 Spider-Men trying to protect the very basically just Terminator. And I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like Sony is going to find a way to screw it up, and I know it somewhere deep inside of me, but the concept's so cool. I'm like, just please don't mess this up, please.
It's going to be Terminator-esque, and somehow you're right. They are going to screw it up. Maybe Morbius shows up, and it's going to, I don't know.
Also, I love
Venom,
so I love Venom.
Oh, well, then there goes all your credibility right there.
Did you not like Venom?
No.
Did you not find any entertainment value to watching that movie? The first one, not the second one.
I guess in terms of, you know, so bad they're good movies to type watch, it's probably more on the fun to watch. But even then, I just, like, especially towards the end, I'm like, I want to get out of there. I'm so done with that.
No, but like, I mean, like, if you like a lot of, like, even Suicide Squad, if you cut out the third act where like it goes kind of crazy, it was good. Also, my expectations for Venom were like in the garbage because there was the report that Venom is only going to get like 10 minutes of screen time because Sony's cheap, and I believe that like completely, and it probably was true at one point. But then I think my expectations being so low, and then I just loved it. Also, I saw it like when I was in New York for Comic-Con, so I think there was like the extra hype of just, you know, it's just the time to be like superheroes.
I hate the Venom. I hate that character. You know, Tom Hardy.
Also, Tom Hardy's awesome. So
I like Tom Hardy.
He's great.
Whenever like the let me crack a energy drink or whatever. Like, I hate that. I don't think it's funny. I don't know what it's. Again, I'm not a comics. I haven't even seen the animated shows apparently. But I'm not too familiar. Like, Venom's not actually like that at all, right? Like, why is he cracking jokes? So they're just basing off Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it so much. Get rid of the jokes.
My favorite part about Venom was when he showed up in Spider-Man. What was it? 1 minute and 20 seconds.
That was
the best.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't hate that.
I don't know. I don't understand why people didn't like Woody Harrelson. I think is one of my favorite people, like favorite actors. So him.
I
being
didn't see Venom
awesome.
2, by the way. I have not seen that.
Oh, I liked it. I think I have no credibility here to say like anything on this, but I liked it.
If I was, you know, I don't go to film festivals like you, Khalil, but if I saw like a list of movies with like the actors on it, I saw Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson, I'm the first in line, right? Like, I love those two guys. So like, it's a recipe for success for me. But again, I think it just fails in like the writing and trying too hard.
But they're always covering Tom Hardy's face in every movie he does. I don't understand why.
Right. It's crazy. It's weird and it's probably wrong, but they do it.
Yeah, he makes me question my sexuality, and they just like completely get rid of the thing that I'm actually looking at.
What's your favorite Tom Hardy movie of all time? And there's only one right answer to this, by the way.
Bronson.
That was the wrong answer.
Okay.
I mean, that's a tough one. I wouldn't even know where to start with it. I'd have to go something like really dark, but then I'm going to probably say something and you're going to say it's wrong. So
throw out a few names.
No, I won't even say
throw out a few names.
I want to see what yours is.
Locke.
I haven't seen that.
It's awesome.
So is my answer better that I haven't seen that now?
Yeah, you're off the hook.
Oh, I lied.
Watch Locke.
I don't know why. I'm pulling up his IMDb. I don't know why I didn't say Mad Max. I think Mad Max is actually
I was going to say Mad Max.
I forgot he was in
Khalil is going to be like, oh, that was the worst movie ever.
No, I love I didn't. It was good. It was a good movie.
But again, his face is covered in half the damn movie.
Yeah.
No, you have to watch Locke. Locke is so it's it has Tom Holland in it too, I think. So
now let me ask you this, Chloe. Do other people like this movie? Because what I'm learning.
yes, no. It's something. It's a movie that a lot of people like.
Okay.
Outside of your friend group.
Yeah, no. Even in my friend group, my tastes are a little bit, yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I'm down for the polled takes, but like my thing is like there's so much stuff out there. If like when somebody recommends something to me, I need like 4 or 5 people also to recommend it. Otherwise, like if you're just telling me it's like, why would I listen to what this one person is saying when like 20 other people are telling me to watch something else? I'm never going to get to the one thing you're telling me to watch. You know,
this is one of those movies where it just does something unique in the way it's kind of filmed.
Okay.
And the concept is so cool, and it's got all these characters, and it's like all these like actors who are like known for things, because it's the basically the premise is him driving home.
So it looks to be number 3,190 on IMDb, which that's not a bad number.
Yeah, it's considered his most underrated movie. Because obviously he's got so many big kind of movies. So but it is one of those like kind of like those, if you like Tom Hardy and Tom Holland and all of those people, you'll like this movie. So you should watch it. See?
Tom Holland is in this?
He's in this as like a baby. like not
Not a
baby,
literal
like
baby.
young. Like he's young.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Like right off his Broadway days.
I'm gonna put it on my watch list. It's going to Letterboxd here. That's a big deal.
My Letterboxd watch list is too long. Anything getting added to my Letterboxd watch list is just like it's just to like acknowledge someone.
That's the thing. That's why I keep it very exclusive. It's on HBO Max. That's a huge plus right there. I can watch it like tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah, then it's free. I can watch that tonight. Let's make it happen.
Okay, and
We'll
then
do a
you
watch party.
Yes, watch party. I love that movie. Is just it's a good movie. It's underrated.
And I like these simple premises too. Like, it's a guy driving home. You know, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, why is there a movie about this? You know, like that alone. I
said that was an intentional kind of vague, but also very interesting plot. That's actually how it was pitched to me to watch it. So, yeah.
So what? Do you not like Bronson?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Pretty good.
That's the reason.
I mean, it's probably very much like, I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, but you know, it's just like a very masculine movie. It's like very, you know, he's bald with a mustache and he punches people. Which, you know, what more could you want from Tom Hardy at the end of the day? So
that's true though. It's like okay. Are there any actors who like you've just like sat down and said, I'm gonna watch everything they're in?
I don't know. It's usually a director, not so much the actor that I go for. I'm trying to think of even one example of that.
I've done this with one director. I've done this with one actor.
Will Smith. I will watch anything he is in.
I think that's a little.
That's a little different. Though. He's in too much to watch everything.
No, it's not. It's perfect. Even like back in the day when he was like a rapper with DJ Jazzy Jeff. I mean, it was everything he does turns to gold. It's worth it.
See, I think that's a little different though, because you're in the position where like you see a trailer, Will Smith is in it, you're sold. Which I think I have that with a lot of different movies. But I don't think it's rare for me to watch a movie, I find a new actor, and then I'm like, I need to see everything they're in. You know? Usually it's like, here's an actor I know. This movie's coming out.
Oh, my example was an actor I know who but I never see, like I seen them in very limited things. And then I think it was like last year I said, I'm just going to watch like 5 movies that they have that I haven't seen. And it's Natalie Portman, by the way, in case you were wondering.
So what were the 5 movies? Because Queen.
Black Swan, Jackie,
Great.
Closer, V for Vendetta, No Strings Attached. I had seen V for Vendetta before. It was Heat and Vox Lux.
Okay. I haven't seen a lot of those. Vox Lux, is that good?
Eh.
Okay.
That was basically like, that was like the one, like, I was like, I'm just going to go watch everything she's in.
Shot in the dark here. Do you like Phantom Menace by happenstance?
I think I've made this position clear on this before.
That's all I'm asking. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and she was in Heat, so it was an excuse to watch Heat and then Black Swan and everything else.
Khalil, do you play video games?
Like, in theory, yeah.
Well, what's your favorite video game ever?
I guess like I've only ever fully. It's probably Arkham Knight. Like the selection though is very limited. I'm not very good at like finishing video games.
That's fair.
I
What
guess.
about you, Mr. Marvel? What's your favorite video game?
Oh, honestly, my favorite video game would have to be going back to the old days of Halo. That's actually my tag in here somewhere in the Twitch stream, HLG Ghost. I actually was part of the original clan that started HLG. We are the Hidden League of Gaming. There are millions and millions of YouTube videos of us out there. Basically, we would go into multiplayer and we'd get the lead by like 3 points. And we knew where all the glitches and hiding spots were. And we would just hide. And back then you could do like the camera. So you could go and see everybody walking right past you. It was amazing. I went to school for video game design. I used to work for EA Sports. So I'm a deep diver into video games. But right now it is Sandstorm Insurgency. It is the best first-person shooter in the world.
It's new. Is this new? Or?
No, it's old, but it's under the radar. It is incredibly tactical. A lot of our guys overseas, they use this game for train ops. It's awesome. You will literally get into a lobby and you're either playing with a 9-year-old or you are actually playing with operators.
Shit. So you would consider yourself more of a competitive gamer than like a single, based on what you're telling me.
Very competitive. My first competitive game experience was back in 1995. So I've been competing game my entire life, and the wife doesn't care.
Yeah.
You were one. The wife doesn't care that I play video games 24/7.
I wasn't alive.
I've got every system. I mean, I see that 64 over your head right there, Michael. Yeah. And I don't know if that's even active or working, but I've got about 4 of them that work, and I still play GoldenEye every week.
Oh, dude, let's match up. What they were coming out with a remaster or something recently?
I don't even think it's gonna be remastered, but it's gonna be on the Switch. I think it'll be
on the Switch, bro. I'll take you on.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, my video games are like I don't do anything. The last time I actually played a game with like other people was like Battlefront 2, but like I don't do it because I'm so bad, and then it just shoots your confidence when like you lose instantly. So,
see, Mr. Marvel, you're probably thinking the original Battlefront 2, right?
Oh no! Sorry, I meant the new Battlefront. Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no for me, like the golden era of Star Wars video gaming was the original Battlefront 2. Like that is like chef's kiss, and I can't even get into.
Well, it's before EA screwed everything up, right?
Exactly.
Hey now.
And that. No offense.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey now. I don't.
Were you responsible for the paywalls in front of everything?
No, I did level design and background details.
Okay, so you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're good.
I literally just drew trees and rocks every day, but I would make the same tree and the same rock smaller, bigger, taller, wider, shorter. It was so boring. But I lived in Vancouver and I couldn't complain.
I just, I mean, it sounds. Wait, y'all. So wait, you're Canadian? You're both Canadian?
No, I'm not Canadian. No. I'm not.
All the things are here. It's either here or it's
I lived in Canada. But I grew up in upstate New York. So technically, growing up in upstate New York, I was literally a stone's throw away from Canada. So I could be Canadian.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that counts, though.
And Chloe, you're from Toronto, right? I assume.
Yeah, I lived in Toronto. I go to school in Toronto. I'm kind of like.
I went to Toronto when I was 8, if that means anything to you.
I went to New York twice in my life. That's it.
Well, Toronto's great. Isn't that where the Biodome is? Or is that Quebec?
That's Quebec.
Quebec, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Toronto has the tower, the CN Tower. I went up there. I walked on the glass floor.
I went to the Biodome when I was really young, and I thought it was going to be just like the movie Biodome with Pauly Shore. It wasn't.
All I'm saying, Suicide Squad filmed here.
Oh, all right.
And they're literally filming The Boys season 3, and also that spin-off show, like at my school across the street from me. So.
That's awesome. I live in Atlanta, so everything gets filmed here.
Oh. There you go.
It's terrible.
How's that terrible? Wait, are you a sports person?
Oh, I'm a huge sports person. I'm actually an owner of the Green Bay Packers.
What does that mean?
So the Green Bay Packers are not only the oldest football team in the league, but they are the only publicly traded team in the NFL. So you can actually buy stock options. You can buy stock options, and there have been 4 opportunities since they were developed to buy stock options, and I just got one. I think it was last year, 2 years ago, and
they're probably expensive as hell, though.
I mean, it was now they are. You know, when the first offering, I think was like $50, then it just kept on driving.
No, like I'm saying when you got it, like I'm sure you got it.
Oh yeah. It wasn't cheap, but I can actually now, go to the bar and someone can be like, oh man, your Packers suck. And I'm like, yeah, man, I own that team.
Yeah, you said that. I was like, that doesn't sound 100% right. But no, that's interesting. I became a football fan this year. I'm playing fantasy. And I was like, well, I guess I better fucking watch the actual sport for the first time in my life. So I'm trying to be. Oh, I don't know. No. It's like
damn.
It's like football's number 1, and then there's a bunch of blank spaces, and then like hockey's number 6, and then like everything else is at 10.
Well, if you need any help with fantasy football, just let me know.
Okay, please.
The problem with fantasy, the problem with football for me is like
I'm last in the league.
It's American, and there's no Canadian team for me to care about. So I'm just like I'm just a Patrick Mahomes person.
And there's nothing wrong with that. At least you're not a Tom Brady fan.
No, and I'm a new age Patriots fan, but like post Brady, because I don't like Brady.
Nobody does.
Well, I'm like, I live in Tennessee, and it's like all my friends are like, you have to root for the Titans. I'm like, I don't have to. They suck.
Why would you want to?
I know. That's why I'm like, fuck that. I'm a Bills fan.
Tannehill is garbage.
Bills fan.
No.
Come on, they're good. Like, from what I've seen, again, this is my first year watching. I'm watching these guys play. They play like no other team. They're just fucking throwing bombs for no reason.
Yeah, but watch videos of their fans.
Okay.
No, the problem
I almost went to New York to see a Bills game. So.
Where in Tennessee are you?
Nashville.
Okay, so
I'm going to the Titans game tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I might be able to see you off my back deck.
Who are they playing?
The Colts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. They might actually win.
Yeah, no.
Well, at least your wife doesn't like football because my wife loves the Steelers. She's diehard, and the last time the Steelers and Green Bay played, we were in a Super Bowl. Green Bay won. Then I took her to Lambeau for the first time last October, and the Steelers and Green Bay play every 4 years, and they lost, and she's had to hold on to that for another 3 years.
One of the best football moments of the year had to be Zappy completely ripping apart the 2-time MVP in Lambeau. That was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever loved watching a game so much as watching Aaron Rodgers completely fall apart and watching Zappy, the third string quarterback, just completely tear him apart.
He's fallen apart this entire season, but that's okay.
It's the team. He can't be. He's not as good as Patrick Mahomes, who can just make it work with whoever he has around him, and so he's just gonna have to accept the fact that his team is bad and they're not going to do anything. And Patrick Mahomes is probably going to win, which will make me happy. And that's all that matters. Also, everyone in Canada is especially Toronto, is basically just like because of a distance, a Bills fan. Because again, Buffalo is next door. So I feel like everyone has that attachment, which I hate, which is so I don't like Josh Allen. I don't know why. It's nothing against him. It's just, I don't like I don't like having the same opinion as everyone else. If that hasn't been clear.
Clear, very clear. The other thing was I had Stephon Diggs on my fantasy, so I'm like, again, it's like I'm rooting for the best guy on my team, which was him. So
that's
I ended
fair
up trading him. That's another story. But yeah.
Being a Toronto sports fan sucks sometimes, though. Not gonna lie. Because see, all our teams are cursed, so
they don't have Canadian football leagues.
Yeah, we have the CFL. It's bad though.
Yeah, the Rock played on the CFL.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad though. The rules are terrible. I learned half of them yesterday.
Here's my hot take. Well, I think football sucks in general. That's my take. As an outsider coming in, there's too many commercials. There's too many people talking. There's too much time between plays. There's like 25% of it. Like 25% of the time I sit down in front of my TV to watch the game, I'm actually watching the game. And I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's what you gotta watch.
But
basketball.
I also kind of like you. I kind of like
basketball. But basketball is the best version of all that because it's fast paced and it's not like it. Like football sometimes can feel like just like it's a one sided thing. Like basketball's like the reason I like basketball is because it's fast paced and it's like fun to watch. And
but with basketball, you're looking at games that are like 199 to 210. It's like, come on, be real. I'd rather watch soccer.
Also,
one to 3.
I was gonna say
I hate soccer so much. Anytime it's soccer, I turn it off instantly because I cannot. It's so
too many people like soccer. I can't like it.
No,
likes soccer.
It's not animated.
It's so slow. Soccer's so slow though. It's so like.
But it's just like hockey. It's literally just like
hockey's faster paced.
It is, but hockey is a great game because it is like a 1 to 2 game, and that is a good 45 minutes of entertainment. And the bonus, there's a fight every 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a real fight, and there's no flags.
The problem is when you're a fan of the Leafs, it's a different, less fun situation because you know how everything always ends.
Well, I mean, you guys stole our Georgia team, the Knights. What are they? The Calgary Flames or whatever now? Yeah.
There's too many teams here. We have to get rid of all of them.
It's
not my team. Just not my team. Get rid of Montreal. Can Montreal not have a team anymore, please? Thank you. There's some, but that's why I like basketball because it's fast paced and hockey and even football. There's times where it's fast paced. Soccer sucks and baseball's nah. I don't watch baseball. I did watch the end of the Jays game though. Unfortunately,
I don't watch baseball.
Yeah,
I respect baseball though. Like a lot of people I respect watch baseball and like love it. But I'm like, I'll never get on the bandwagon. But I like that you like it. You can like it.
I don't like baseball. I just watch it.
No, I mean just like the people that like it. Y'all can like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Are
you, Mr. Marvel? Are you a baseball person?
I'm not a big baseball person. I grew up playing baseball, so I love it through that aspect. But I mean, I'm down here in Atlanta. We have the Braves. Yeah, they just won, the World Series. Nothing big, but that's like, the last time we were there was in 94, 95. So it was bad. I was on the news for that though. That was fun.
Wow.
Ooh, we're gonna have to pull up that clip.
Yeah. I'll find it. I'll send it to the little group.
That's cool.
What part of Atlanta do you live? I lived in Atlanta for a little bit.
So I've basically been in Atlanta for a long time. I started in the city, moved my way to like the suburbs, and now me and the lady just moved to a private community in the North Georgia mountains where I literally have 5 bears that live outside of my house. We see deer every minute of every day. We saw a fox this morning as we were just leaving to go run our errands. But I can actually, like I was saying, I can stand on my deck and I can see into the Carolinas and Tennessee.
I lived in Kennesaw. So
okay.
You probably throw a stone off your mountain to Kennesaw, right?
It's the other direction.
Okay.
And I live in one of the biggest cities in North America. So in like the center of the biggest cities in North America. So that's fun. Yeah. You're just on a mountain with bears.
I'm on a mountain with bears. It's pretty sketchy. I mean, right now, what is it? It's 11 o'clock here, and I could literally go outside and probably get mauled by a bear.
Damn.
That's kind of like thrilling though, right?
It is thrilling. The wife is terrified that I'm going to go out there and try to hug one of the bear cubs because we had them in our yard the other day. And I was like, I just want to go pet one. It'll be fine.
I can go outside and try to get mauled by a raccoon or a person.
Oh, well, I want to catch a raccoon, and that's going to be my next pet. I will have a pet raccoon.
Raccoons are cool. I
just need to be aware that not all of them talk and are funny.
Yeah, but I'm going to name it Rocket, and that would be awesome.
I know. Well, if you didn't, I would be disappointed in you. So there's the expectation is the name is Rocket.
I really want a possum. That's what I want. That's more reasonable because that's an easy catch.
Are you allowed to even have a raccoon as a pet?
No. Well, so technically I live in a national forest preserve or whatever, so I can't harm any of the animals, which is fine. I'm a hunter. I've got a freezer full of deer meat. And I think that's why the deers and all the animals around here, because they're just taunting me.
The bears.
You're so versatile, Mr. Marvel. You got the Marvel, but you also got the hunting and the sports, and you got it all. And you worked for EA. Like, look at you.
Yeah, I'm not that versatile.
Yeah. Well, now I work for a national security and technology company. Yay.
Okay.
Wow. So you're like, see, I'm not that versatile. I've got like 3 areas of like care and interest, and so.
Well, I try to do it all. I mean, the last 9 years, I've owned and operated a custom T-shirt brick and mortar store.
Is that what you're wearing right there?
No, this is just a Wisconsin shirt.
Okay.
I don't know. Drink responsibly, but I owned a T-shirt company for the last 9 years. It was awesome. COVID shut me down, but we were a franchise. We had 100 stores nationwide. We actually had 2 stores in Canada. Big Frog Custom T-shirts. That's not a shout out because I hate you.
Oh. See, my entire wardrobe is superhero shirts. I'm not even joking about that either, or in Star Wars and whatever.
Mine are my beer shirts. Drink Responsibly is my brand. I love it. It's a Wisconsin, native type of thing. It's either that, a Marvel shirt, or something about hunting.
Yeah, literally, I'm not even joking. Like, it's actually kind of sad, the fact that my clothes are all superhero related or Star Wars related. It's sad. I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mine's a mix. A lot of it's like plain stuff. Like I'm wearing a camo shirt right now. But yeah, then I got like, I'm slowly, I can't even afford my own merch, guys, but I'm slowly moving to like, I'm only going to wear my own merch.
You should. And that's what I did for 9 years. I never had to buy a hat, never had to buy a T-shirt. I had to buy socks and jeans, and that was it. I could just make anything I wanted at any given point of the day. And then I got into podcasting in January, and I'm like, man, what am I going to do for apparel? Because I would have had all the merch on lockdown between every podcast out there. I would have gone after everybody.
I feel like wearing like merch of your own is like so intelligent for marketing, and I would totally do that, but I'm petrified that if I make, because like what I would do, I wouldn't make it like merch. I would just make it I'd make a shirt with my logo on it and then just call it a day, right? But I feel like it's gonna look so bad, and so I'm like, no, not yet.
Well, I can help you with that.
Hey, there we go.
I know a guy. Well, I'm excited. I won a T-shirt from the Earth 894 guys, and I should get in the mail hopefully sooner or later. But I'm gonna wear that shit everywhere.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing about merch. It's like a lot of the times, like I'm a little skeptical to buy. It depends on the merch, right? Because if you're like, Comic Book Boys podcast, if I wore that around, I feel like a lot
that's
of
the thing though.
The reason I would wear like a Star Wars shirt is so I can connect with other Star Wars fans. But it's like, so like for me, it's like when I want to make my merch, I want to make something that like somebody that doesn't listen to the podcast would wear. That I think
not even joking. That's exactly my thought with my. Yeah. I literally thought this like a few days ago, and I was like, that was my exact thing. It's like if I were ever to do it, I wouldn't want it to be like brand based, but more like, just superhero based or something like something like in that area, because like as it is, my like ultimate way to market myself is just by having constant superhero shirts on. And so, that instantly starts conversations with people who I would want to start conversations with, and avoids conversations with people who I wouldn't want to talk to. It's like the perfect thing. It's like a repellent of people I don't want to talk to. And also the opposite of repellent. My brain is not functioning. Okay. For the people I do want to talk to. So it works.
I think that's why people wear like their sports merchandise, right? You wear your team, you connect with people that also support your team, and then your rivals, they aren't coming near you. So it's like
that's spot on.
Yeah. The only problem is in the winter, wearing a bunch of t-shirts is a very difficult thing to do here. So we always struggle in that area.
True.
Because all my shirts are t-shirts, and
you have like 3 months worth of winter, right? Or I mean 3 seasons. 3 seasons is what I meant. Like you have like
like from the time where it's not, you can't wear, like where it's cold is like now till April. with some warm days in between. So,
Well,
Canada,
I mean, that's like Georgia and Tennessee, though.
Yeah.
But do you get the freezing temperatures or no?
I had freezing temperatures this week. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday was in the low 30s and high 50s.
Oh my god, you're using Fahrenheit now. No.
Yeah. Go to
No.
use Celsius. We were in the 12s and the boots. I don't know.
No, so my roommate is like from California, so he uses Fahrenheit, and I hate him for it.
Well, all they have one season in California.
Yeah, but it's
fuck it, I'm going.
It's various like versions of that, so
Yeah.
I hate Fahrenheit so much. It's so annoying. You're the only people who use it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I think we still use metric, or do you use metric or no?
I use centimeters and meters in some cases, and in other cases, like very few times will I use like feet.
See, but you use kilometers and we use miles per hour.
Oh my god, it messes me up so much every time I go to the US. That's why I avoid going to the US now. No, that's not the reason. I've only been to like 3 states or 4 states in my entire life. So
well, I've had a couple Japanese cars, so they were right-hand drive and they were all in kilometers. So I was able to learn kilometers.
Yeah, it bugs me when I just all the different. It's so weird, and also the streaming services. I've had so many. I can go and rant about this, but like I understand the rationale, and I've ranted about this so many times, but the rationale, but like it's like we're literally next door, and yet we don't have any of the streaming services, barring like Disney and Amazon.
Yeah, I was talking to Tom about that last Friday from Two Sides, and I was so confused. Like, how do you not have this?
Well, I tell you the reason. Like, I don't know if you want the reason, but like
I've heard the reason on your guest with Lights Camera Rant.
Yes. So basically the reason is way back before streaming was a thing, they were like, okay, well, we always don't have the typical channels or whatever for distribution. So they basically signed these long-term contracts with local channels everywhere, and they basically said, give us a bunch of money and we'll give you this content. Now Disney pulled back on that and said, we're doing a global launch. We want everything coming to us. We don't care. They actually bought out a few contracts for a few shows. I think they might have bought out Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and a few other things just so they could get it onto Disney Plus here faster. But HBO has taken the exact opposite track in the sense that they have basically gone, now since the new management, whatever, it might change. So far, it doesn't seem like that from what I've heard, and I've heard very credible things on the side of things, but it seems like they're still satisfied with this idea that them selling all the content to local here, it makes them so much more money because of the population size than it does investing in the infrastructure to bring in the streaming service, plus getting people to sign up for that. And even in other countries, it's the same kind of situation where just the money makes so much more sense to just sell the content and then not have to worry about that infrastructure and and building up a subscriber base, because it's basically guaranteed money from like such a small country population size. So that's basically the reason why.
So let me ask you this: how do you watch Game of Thrones?
We have a streaming service called Crave, which is basically like a version of HBO Max, where it's like all the new stuff of HBO Max because of various agreements, and some of the back catalog, but also some of that back catalog's on Netflix and Amazon, and sometimes nowhere.
But couldn't you get a VPN and then just stream stuff from the US?
But then I would have to buy the streaming service, and then I don't know which company's done this, but one of the companies has found a way to stop the VPN loophole.
Probably Netflix.
I think it might be Netflix.
Probably Jeff Bezos as well over there with Amazon.
Yeah. Though they also have like a ton. Amazon's a little bit different in that sense, but yeah, like that stuff, like for example, Harley Quinn is on Adult Swim here, and Titans is on Netflix, and Game of Thrones is on HBO, Game of Thrones is on Crave. So everything's like split up. So it's always a fun game of figuring out where something's going to play. And then obviously with the Disney stuff, it's even weirder because Disney has Star here, right? It's because they don't have Hulu for the same reason.
Okay.
Of the other.
Well, I mean, we struggle that in the States too, because we have to have like 12 different streaming services just to watch our content.
The good thing for us is like 4.
Yeah.
That's a one positive is like you don't get now the downside is you don't get the same back catalog, but the upside is I don't have to spend like $500 a year on streaming services. So that's always fun. But yeah, I mean, it's like, it's always a game of like I feel like it's easier when because they market things toward like, you know, all the marketing is done toward like HBO Max, right? Or whatever. So like, I'll know, oh, it's on HBO Max, but then I'm then doing the Canadian conversion. Okay. Where would it be here is, you know, weird and sometimes very, very frustrating. So yeah,
I had a minor heart attack just now. Sorry. I kind of tuned out from the conversation because Zach in the Discord said that Black Adam was the best superhero film of the year. And
what came out this year?
The Batman.
Right, that was good. I like that.
Yeah,
that was dark, and that's how Batman should have been. Although I'm really excited if the Flash movie actually comes out.
I'm not watching that. But, no, I'm sorry, but the personal stuff in that, and also the fact that like, okay, I'm gonna be honest here. Maybe this might be another hot take. I don't know. After the CW Flash show, I don't give a shit about the Flash anymore.
I don't think. I mean, as far as live action goes, I don't think many people do. Even the people that didn't watch or did watch.
The fact that Michael Keaton could be coming back as Batman.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Honestly, like again, it's like we're looking at that, but like, what about in 10 years when Ben Affleck comes back as Batman?
Here he is in the chat now. The hierarchy of the DCEU has now changed.
I don't want to watch that movie.
I don't either. Please don't tell me it's good, because that means if you tell me it's good, I'm going to have to watch it, and I don't want to.
I want to watch it.
I literally live across the street from a movie theater. Like, I'm not even joking.
Same.
It's 5 steps across the street from me.
It's more like 20 for me, but...
Yeah, it's probably closer to 20, and then I have to walk upstairs to get there.
It's actually probably closer to 40 for me.
I'm now an hour and a half away from the closest movie theater, and it's not even a good movie
How do you
theater.
survive? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's really tough. I mean, today we went and we spent like 4 hours out in the real world just doing things, and now we're back up here for the next 2 weeks.
My one requirement is I have to like be close to a movie theater. That's it. I have to be able to get to a movie theater consistently because I would die without one.
I'm the same.
Which is probably a bad thing, but who cares?
The pandemic killed. We had 2 theaters near us. Actually, one died way before the pandemic. The other died in the pandemic, and then we got a new, better one just even closer. So, like, the theater situation is changing, but I've always been like, a 2-minute drive from a theater, no matter what.
Yeah, so I'm either on the bright side or the bad side. Because the theater thing is pretty much monopolized by one company here, I don't have to worry about any of that ever. So that's always nice. Like I don't have to worry about the pandemic shutting things down. Now, ticket prices on the other hand, with no competition, it sucks. But yeah.
So what's the theater chain you go to?
Cineplex.
Okay. Never even heard of that.
Big. It's the only theater chain in Ontario, at least. I think there's some other competition elsewhere, but they basically there's some other smaller ones, but they basically bought up everything else and now exist as an entity.
That's like AMC, because the 2 theaters we had before, it was a Carmike and a Regal, and those are pretty popular theater chains. And then they both went away, and now everything is AMC. That's the theater chain. I don't see Regal theaters anywhere.
Okay, hypothetical question, which I've thrown out a few times to different people, and I want to know what your take on this is. Would you be in favor of studios buying movie theaters, and then you go and they basically it's like the new version of getting Netflix has a theater chain, and Disney has a theater chain?
No. because I would like to see both of those things in the same theater.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. And again, you're not going to see any Regals anytime soon because they are bankrupt. They went bankrupt during COVID.
That's what I was going to say. I haven't looked it up, but I was curious.
So they were one of our biggest contracts, and they couldn't pay. We tried to figure out, but I think it's Cineworld that owns them. And I'm pretty sure that is a UK company.
Fun fact, actually. So way back before the pandemic, Cineplex had arranged a buyout deal with Cineworld, but then they pulled out of the deal for some reason, and now Cineplex is suing them, for contract infringement and all this other stuff because it completely screwed them over because everyone is expecting, new ownership, and
because they had no money and they couldn't sell something that was worthless.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I just I need theater competition again, just because ticket prices are too high and quality of movies are too low. So unfortunately,
go see the matinee, the $4 specials at like noon.
No, the only time we have cheap movies is Tuesdays, and I don't have time to watch things on Tuesdays. I am a living human being as much as I would love to. Unfortunately, my life does not allow me to just say, every Tuesday I'm going to go watch a movie, even though it would be financially the right decision. It's unfortunate, but yeah. And then the other part of it, like the difference is now you're not paying for quality either, which sucks. Because
but then what would you want to see? You would want to see a Disney theater, pop up down the street from your house.
The only hesitation to the idea of that I would have is the fact that I don't trust any of these companies to give me any theaters near me or in my country. So I feel like this would not be something that would even affect me in any way. But I don't know. I feel like it would be a cool way to revive theaters and kind of push more. Because I feel like the theatrical, you look at the best example of this is Knives Out, right? When I saw it obviously at TIFF in a theater of people. That experience, I think I enjoyed that movie more when I watch it kind of when it comes out on Netflix. I think it'll be a very different kind of experience just because you need the people, right? You need the people to make some movies good. So, or better.
So what I'm hearing is I need to see Comic Boys Studios, theaters across the world, and you just play whatever you want to play.
Exactly.
That's what you need to do.
I'll go to that cinema.
I mean,
they'll be playing Suicide Squad every Friday.
Yes, absolutely.
The animated version.
The animated. Okay.
Is there an animated version?
There is an animated Suicide Squad movie. I think there's actually been a bunch of them. There's one in particular which is sticking in my head, which was weird in of itself. But DC animated stuff is good, though. I gotta say, that's their one strong suit in a lot of weak stuff. Their animation is top tier.
That's what I hear. Not that I have any experience.
Watch Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of it, and I plan to get back on it. But
watch Harley Quinn.
There's a lot going on. A lot of stuff to watch.
Okay, did you guys hear? Way back when it was a thing. Remember the canceled Deadpool animated show?
No.
You don't? So
No.
There's this whole thing they were going to do way back, when Disney did nothing to do with Deadpool or any X-Men or anything. They had the plans to roll out a Deadpool animated show with Ryan Reynolds. And then it got canceled. And then someone released one episode script, which had to do with way back when there was the rhino that died. There's a rhino that died. And it was so stupid. I have the script saved somewhere. I'll send it, and you guys should read it. It was because I just have it. I don't know why I still have it saved, but
of all the lists of the things that I have to watch, it's like Locke, it's Harley Quinn, and then I'm not the script. If you convince me to read a script, you've done really well here tonight.
Yeah. Because it kind of makes you wish. Like I liked the idea. I liked the idea of like some of the anime stuff they were throwing out. Like I liked I don't. Did you guys watch MODOK or no? The animated show.
It wasn't on like Hulu or.
It was a Hulu thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, but I love Patton Oswalt, and I meant to. I just never got around to it.
Like I love the idea. Like when they rolled out those plans for like the Dazzler and the show, and then the MODOK show, and then they were gonna all kind of like come together, and it was like basically a mini MCU, but on the animated side. Before they abolished the TV department and gave it all to Kevin Feige, which by the way was still the right decision. But it would have been fun to kind of see that kind of mini, like Howard the Duck and all these people come together. But, Marvel abolished it.
I mean, you had me at Howard the Duck.
They planned a Howard the Duck show. They planned an R-rated Howard the Duck show. And
I do remember that news, but...
And then there was like a Dazzler show, and there was like who else was there? There was like a whole bunch of people. MODOK, and I'm forgetting probably one of the bigger ones. It released Hitmonkey. That's the one. That actually released. They had to release whatever they made, but other than that, they canceled and destroyed any evidence of. Marvel TV was also like not terrible before they decided everything is MCU, which again, not complaining about, but
yeah.
I never watched Punisher or Jessica Jones or Luke Cage.
I barely watched Daredevil, so
I watched Daredevil.
Daredevil was amazing. Punisher was amazing.
I watched
Jessica Jones was slow. Luke Cage was, but Iron Fist was incredible. It was so good.
I don't know if I'm sensing sarcasm or not.
No, it was amazing.
Really?
Iron Fist was awesome. The Defenders was really great.
Okay, no, that's just as a contrarian. I know that's not. There's no way you're saying this in sincerity.
Oh, it was so good.
No,
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I am not lying. No sarcasm. It is true. You can hate me all you want.
No, because I enjoyed them, which is why I know it's not. I mean, I enjoyed Defenders less, but like Iron Fist, I liked. I don't know. I think it was overhated on. Especially Season 2 was incredible. I'm sorry.
The cliffhanger at the end of season 2. Like,
yeah,
what's going to happen? Where did you get these powerful, Iron Fist-ish gun? I mean,
season 2 was incredible, but the end. You know what that end credit scene reminded me of? The end, the second Jurassic World end credit scene.
I don't even remember that.
Where they had or like not the end credit, but like I don't know if it's an end credit scene or the end.
Chances are I left the theater and didn't watch it. So
where they had like all of the dinosaurs like run free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was the end of the movie or like the end credit scene, but like that kind of would it remind, or like the Godzilla end credit scene.
Never saw Godzilla.
You didn't watch it? Have you seen any of the MonsterVerse things?
No, I saw King Kong.
Skull Island?
Yeah,
Peter
Skull Island and
Skull Island is the bomb. That's my favorite movie.
Skull Island was good. I mean,
Skull Island though was like I watched it,
was
not
awesome.
because it was because of the cast. I watched that the draw was the cast, and the reason I hated Godzilla King of Monsters was because again the cast. You took a step down there, unfortunately, and I don't want this. Like I don't want my Millie Bobby Brown hatred to like become too much. But like, yeah, no. She can't act.
Not a fan.
No, I'm not a fan either.
But she's great.
I mean, actually, I was asking technically. I like Millie Bobby Brown.
In Stranger Things, she's amazing.
I haven't seen Stranger Things either. That's another one of those shows. That's another one of those shows that goes in the Office category of I refuse to watch it. I've also
it's so good.
Thrones.
I think Stranger. We're getting to the point where I'm cycling back on things I've said already on this actual stream, but Stranger Things, the first season's great. The most recent season's great. There's a lot of stuff in the middle that's not great, and it's it's hard for me to recommend. Like, it's hard for me to say that's the one show you need to watch based on. It's going to be a slug to get to some really good stuff.
I also have a hatred toward Netflix content in general.
Oh,
but this is good Netflix content.
I mean, technically, it's the best.
Mm-hmm. Stranger Things, Cobra Kai. I mean, they put out some good shit.
Like, I haven't watched Squid Game. I haven't watched
Squid Game is good, bro.
Haven't watched that.
I haven't
watched Squid Game, bro. Both of you watch it.
What other Netflix shows have they put out which people
Ozark?
liked? Nope.
Ozark is filmed in my backyard and I haven't even watched it.
Name some other Netflix shows.
What's the one with Kevin Spacey, the president one?
I haven't seen it. I can just tell you now I haven't seen it.
There's not. I mean, they have a lot of like.
That was like the first Netflix show too, wasn't it?
Yeah. House of Cards. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I never really watched
that's actually on my list, but like my TV list is long and there's so many seasons in all of the shows that I'll never get to any of them, so it's fine. Like, I don't know. I just don't like Netflix shows.
You know what my favorite Netflix show is? Completely underrated. Nobody has seen it. Black Summer.
Yeah, I haven't seen
it. It's a zombie show. Fucking great. It's like one long anxiety attack. Like, the entire thing is like both seasons are like a chase sequence, right?
I don't know if that's
like,
either selling me on it or like really not selling me on it. I'm not sure yet.
It's like, I mean, I don't know if you guys are Walking Dead fans, but Walking Dead, there's complaints. There's like, people say it's like a soap opera. It's too slow. There's not enough zombies, whatever. This is like zombies through and through. Like, it's like these like characters that you get very minimal backstory on. And they're like, you drop you in this world. Like, here we are. There's this guy. He's being chased by zombies. And how is he going to get away? And who are the people that are going to help him along the way? And it's fascinating. That'll get your adrenaline up for sure.
Well, y'all are definitely building my watch list, so I'm excited. Got a lot of things to watch now.
My watch list. See, the problem is when you build it with TV shows, they're never going to actually get watched. So
Oh, I'll watch them. I don't. I have no watch TV.
I have no TV attention span. If anything's come out and it's like, I'm 2 seasons behind, or unless it's a 30-minute comedy, I'm not catching up on it. Like, that's also, I hate shows with stakes and like plot. So,
yeah. I hate things that tell a story too.
I don't like those dark, slow, plot-filled stories. Or
what about Breaking Bad?
Well, that was awesome.
Haven't seen it.
That's the single greatest TV show of all time.
Like, my TV shows, I'm not even joking, are literally either 30-minute animated shows or 30-minute live-action comedies.
Yeah.
And even that list is very, very short. To like Friends, and which I just started, and like my all-time favorite show is Cheers. So
Cheers is great. That's a classic.
It's underrated. It's so underrated. People just look at like stupid Office and Friends. I'm actually gonna have to probably watch The Office.
You're gonna have to watch The Office, and then you're gonna have to watch Parks and Rec.
Yeah, but only because I want to do this thing, and I want to like come up with like I want to basically come up with like a theory of comedy in TV shows. And so I actually do have to, in theory, watch those shows to be able to do that. Basically, I was watching The Big Bang Theory, and when Sheldon wanted to come up with a theory of comedy, I was like, wait, I want to do that for TV shows. So I have like a big spreadsheet, and I'm trying to figure out what makes something funny.
Have you ever watched Community?
No, but it is on the list.
Community needs to be above everything.
See, I don't really like comedy. Like, there's not a, like, I do like The Office. I like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Other than that, it's like sitcoms, even Parks and Rec, that's a step. Community, like, you're lucky to catch me watching a comedy show.
See, I find them so, like, I find things, like, I like things that are easy to digest and not, like, movies, I'm good with complex and whatever, but for TV shows, I just like things that I can just put on and, go do a whole bunch of other things and not feel, like, super emotionally invested in the characters. If that, like, I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I understand that.
Like,
I like to just watch something and it's blatantly stupid and it's going to catch my attention, but I can still, peruse Facebook or watch something on my phone while the show's going on.
Like, I feel like maybe just because I know if I start watching these shows that are like consumed, like that I need to actually pay attention to, I'm not going to do anything else because of how many shows there are. And so I'm like, I think it's like almost like a self-defense mechanism of like, I need to stay productive in life and I cannot just become just a consumer of media consistently. And I need to be like, if I start watching things that I have to like pay attention to, I will not like the productivity in a day will be 0 hours and 0 seconds. So I think it's kind of a self-defense mechanism of like not going down that rabbit hole of like complete nothingness.
Guys, I hate to do this. I have to hop off. But,
oh my god, it's 11:30. I should probably sleep.
Yeah, it's 10:30 for me. But before we go, I don't know how many people are listening at this point, but I want to give you guys the chance to tell people where they can find you and your podcast online. So we'll start with Khalil.
So you can find me on YouTube and literally just you can find me on everything. Type Comic Boys in the internet with like no spaces. You can find everything. So, you know.
Right there, same thing. Just search Mr. Marvel's Minutes.
You're the one Mr. Marvel. Don't hit Miss Marvel. You're going to find something else. You want to hit Mr. Marvel.
And not Miss Minutes either.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, I think if you Google Miss Minutes, I'll probably pop up.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm going to have to try that.
All right. I hate to end abruptly on you guys,
no,
but
all good.
thank you so much.
I have to sleep. So if anything, this is a good thing. Yeah. I cannot do another 1 a.m.
This was great, though. We went almost 2.5 hours, so I appreciate it. Yeah,
I'm glad you hosted this.
This was good because it didn't feel like a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a filter to make us animated?
Yeah, we're working on that in the background. We're gonna get your help from EA Sports.
Yeah, you go down. I want to make myself animated.
All right, bye. Thanks.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
See y'all. Oh, I didn't end the broadcast. Okay, bye.